The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music. What up, everybody, from the SFL studios in the DFW Metroplex. I am your SFL Commissioner, Cameron Irvine, and tonight we have 6 games here for your viewing pleasure. Over on the right-hand side of your screen, that's where you will see the scores. They will be auto-populating thanks to our sponsor ScoreStream and especially EJ DeQ, who's keeping the community updated on all things happening tonight. Sup, Steven? Sup, Liam? Lots of Tallahassee. Sioux Falls in the house. And 100 bits from Crazy 8's 2000. I see ya. First up tonight is Sioux Falls and Indianapolis. Sparrows are trying to protect their spot in the top 6 to advance automatically to the quarterfinals. Indianapolis trying to play spoiler. The Spitfire have been struggling as of late. Las Vegas hosts Tulsa tonight. Tulsa just on the outside looking in, and unfortunately there's no path to them making it. Las Vegas on the outside looking in as well, and they still have some hope. Then around 7:30, we've got some altered start times, but you can expect it around there. London and New Orleans will be kicking off. That game, I don't have to tell you, means a lot. The current number 7 and number 9 seeds in the playoffs. The Dead 957. What's up, man? Denver and Vancouver around 7:40. The Legion will be trying to play spoiler there. Denver can clinch the number 1 seed with a victory. Otherwise, things get real ugly for the Nightwings. They could slip all the way to 4. Then Baltimore at Queen City around 7:50. The Baltimore Vultures trying to keep themselves in the upper echelon of the standings, while Queen City is desperate. They need a win and some help. A win will do them a lot of good. And then in the nightcap at around 8 o'clock, Chicago will be at Tallahassee. So you have plenty to look forward to. At one point tonight, about 30-minute stretch, we'll have all 6 games going on live, and we'll be trying to bounce back and forth through them as best we can. We are waiting on the kickoff of Sioux Falls and Indianapolis. That comes up in just about 60 seconds time. Look Alive 24 is going to be on the mic. We'll be checking in with Michael Turillo this evening. We'll also be looking in Rich Pratchard, Mike Daggs, Colin Northrup. Many of our excellent commentators will have games tonight, and I'm just flying here solo. Happy to have you in studios. What's up, Jeff? Thank you, Brocco. Appreciate the compliment. We do our best here at the SFL. We've got Zoinks. I'm not even going to try on the username. Never Satisfied 123 here. C. Pundy, Kumbaya 24, Nacho Sicario's in, hoping for a big win for his Corsairs. Ronnie Nickens is here. X Factor 56. Good evening, Ronnie. Jeff Duffy is here from the Queen City Corsairs. So lots of teams represented here tonight. John Boy saying this is about to get intense fast. I would agree. T. Paternity is here. Very exciting night. Bridge City Bird and Alien Nation also as well. All right. YouTube ads mean we're getting going somewhere.
And it doesn't cause bloating, cramping, gas, or sudden urgency. Miralax. Look for the pink cap.
Yeah, look for the pink cap. We're live. We'll join Sioux Falls and Indy first from Hoosier Memorial. Enjoy the Blitz, everybody, and we'll be here to keep you occupied throughout the night, keeping you in tune with all of the storylines. We'll see you then. We're having some technical difficulties here. We'll get the audio cleaned up here in just a second.
We want the ball. Have won the toss and select to receive.
A bit of an interesting start to the evening without commentary from Indianapolis. I'm sure that we'll get that corrected soon enough. But for now, I'll try to serenade for you. There's Colin and Rick. Colin and Rick, take it away. Come on now.
Is incomplete, intended for Dan Daly. So as I was saying, Daly's the tight end, number 88. Jet Christie is the wide receiver, number 19. Trevor Farrell is number 13. He's a wide receiver, along with Hunter Jones, number 10. The Barnhart combo. Number 31, Greg, and number 26, John, are the corners. Jay Ringgold is the free safety. Drew drops back to throws a third down swing pass to Swearingen, and he gets wrapped up after a pickup of one and a quick punt coming from Indy.
Swearingen careful to make the catch there on that first play from scrimmage. He bobbled it. Unfortunately, it was delivered behind him. Having to spin around and corral it costs him the opportunity to turn that into a bigger play and possibly a first down, Colin.
Seventh-year man, A.J. Levy, the strong safety back, returning this punt from Jake D'Antonio. As it is away, high in the air, and Levy will return it. Spinning across and gets knocked down at the 35. So we saw Colin Hart go for 200 plus last week. He's the guy to watch offensively for Sioux Falls.
Yeah, he's got a motor. He broke off many long runs last week.
The receivers are Sean Harrelson, Ray Lynn, number 17, A.J. Warren, number 15, and Riley Porter, number 87. Craig Hearn, number 88, is the tight end. Julian Tyree is the quarterback, and the first hand plays a handoff to Colin Hart, who breaks the tackle and motors across to the 43-yard line for about a 7-yard pickup.
Well, and just like that, they get ahead of the chains.
I'll give you some playoff scenarios for Sioux Falls. They are the current number 6 seed. They can finish as high as 4 and fall as far as 7.
Along with A.J. Levy, for every season they've been in the league. This is Sioux Falls' 7th season.
Sioux Falls cannot fall farther than 7th thanks to their victory over Tallahassee earlier this season.
First and 10 as the pass goes to the Canadian Moose, Craig Hearn, to the Indy 43. First and 10, and the throw goes out to Hart, who gets blasted by Brandon Haight, number 52, the inside linebacker. Let's set the rest of that Indy defense for you. The corners are Von Siniuk, number 21, Johnny Bravo, a waiver wire signing in week 4, number 33. And the free safeties are Peyton Ellison, number 20, and Steve Vitek, number 24, along with number 29, Paul Connolly. Here we have a 2nd and 5 for Sioux Falls, and here's the stretch play going out to Hart, who carries a couple defenders forward to the Indy 35 to make it 3rd down.
So in a couple of minutes' time, Tulsa and Las Vegas will kick off. Tom Rahman was asking in the chat about Las Vegas's playoff scenarios. Right now, on the outside looking in, they can climb as high as 9, and obviously can be eliminated. The easiest scenario there is with a loss. With a Tallahassee loss, the Fury is also out. And we'll get to everything you need to know throughout the night
1 yard line
as we settle in. It's calm now, but it's the calm before the storm. Back to Colin and Rick.
3 feet outside the red zone on their first possession. And a nifty thread the needle pass. I was holding my breath on 3rd and short.
Well, it's been a really interesting season, as you mentioned, Rick. Not to mention that there was an ownership change at the very top of this organization as Easy Temple took over about a quarter of the way through the season, as Tyree completes it out to Lynn, and Lynn will pick up 6 yards.
I had mentioned in the open before we had those technical difficulties that it's not exactly the season that the Spitfires were hoping for. A lot of excitement and energy around the brand and the new ownership, but I think they're just taking a while to get their legs under them, Colin.
2 receivers to the bottom. Hard to single back. Tyree back to throw. Swings it out. The Hard is wide open, and he goes down to the 1. He said they didn't get into the goal line.
Oh, wow.
Ellison ran him down and stopped him just short.
Nobody knows
where the running back is.
Right. Well, it looked like he might have broke the plane with the ball.
That was amazing commentary.
Somersault tackle. No, I guess his elbow's down short. It's a good view right there.
All right. 1st and goal opportunity from about the inch line. Here's that 3-man back look for Sioux Falls. Ashley Anderson and an extra tight end in the backfield. Join Hart. Here's Hart on the wide carry. Oh, we actually lost the yard. Going backwards. Von Siniuk laying down the lumber.
Something you don't see a lot lately with Hart and the ball, and that's negative yardage.
So we're in the red zone here for Sioux Falls. We'll keep it here. Tulsa and Las Vegas is live now on YouTube, and we'll be kicking off shortly. We'll join them in a little while.
To the top of the formation. Tyree, same play, different result as they block him into the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux Falls.
A road grader, the Indy D, into the end zone. And that's a stroll in the park on that one.
Brandon Haight taking over Easy Temple's spot. Temple, of course, the defensive tackle who set the single game record for sacks in a game by a defensive lineman with 11 against St. Louis last year.
Forgot about that. That was amazing.
And the extra point is up and good. So with 6:06 left in the first, Sioux Falls leads 7-0. And speaking of Sioux Falls, here are some relevant playoff scenarios as far as the playoff picture goes, despite the Sparrows having a spot locked up. A win against Indy plus the New Orleans win drops the Aztecs into the wild card. Just any old win in general keeps the Sparrows in the top 6. But if they were to lose the New Orleans win, Sioux Falls gets to play on wild card Wednesday. The return by Indianapolis comes up to about the 34.
Nifty little step over move there to gain a few extra yards. And let's see what your Indianapolis Spitfires have dialed up for the second possession.
T.D. Drews put up some ridiculous numbers. Bunch of 400-plus passing yard performances. He even put up a couple 500-plus performances in some games, but his team is gone. Counting this game, 5 quarters without any points as they start with a throw to Swearingen to the sidelines. And Keith Swearingen ran over a defender. Oh, he is outrunning A.J. Levy to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, 14, to 1, down to the 3. I thought he was going to score, but the rookie John Barnhart saves what could have been a touchdown.
And Barnhart had to take
best screen of the season.
Angle. Watch this right there. From about, he's not even in the picture. Here he comes from all the way from the other side of the field, from at least the 50. He just sprints for the pylon and he gets there.
And that was the ever scroll block of the game, Rick.
Oh!
Thrown by some of the linemen.
Tulsa and Las Vegas have kicked off
support for
from Silver State Stadium.
Number 32.
We'll keep an eye on it. I got all 6 games on the monitor over here.
And Thomas touchdown Drew. Back to throw, goes to the end zone. It's knocked away. Jay Ringgold on the coverage.
And we didn't get a chance. There's a lot to talk about on that play, including the overdrive gear that Swearingen had as he gets the corner and just turns on the Jets. But here, almost picked off.
Don't forget, ever scroll by movement blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Please don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Protect them and see every moment using the promo code SimulationFL at purchasefrommovement.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL through a partnership. Movement, premium watches and sunglasses. Meanwhile, back on the field, Swearingen puts a big stiff arm and he'll pick up a yard for his troubles.
You know, they like that swing pass to the left side of the formation, Colin, and why not? It's starting to work.
Haven't seen a traditional handoff to Swearingen yet.
Shout out to Ashley Jackson in the chat tonight.
Indianapolis.
Her Tulsa Desperados in action. It was sad to see them not have a path to the playoffs here tonight.
Trouble lines up.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Drew under center. Swinging out to Swearingen one more time, and he's into the end zone. So the running back catches a couple big passes on this drive and powers the Spitfire down the field and into the end zone.
What's up, C. Pundy?
Well, nothing fancy.
I got you.
So they just keep running the same play.
So Indianapolis gets in. They use Swearingen a lot in the passing game. And we'll tie this up with an extra point, and then we'll head out to Vegas to get our first look in with the Desperados and the Fury.
To tie this game up at 7. And the PAT is good, so with 7:56 to go in the first, Indy ties it up at 7.
Let's go to Vegas.
Punters that has a big
we'll join Michael Torillo on the call.
League. He pins Tulsa all the way inside their own 20 to the 19. Here is the Desperados offense. The rookie quarterback is Ashley Jackson, running back Sanzo Robinson. Wide receiver Stephen to the 19. Here is the Desperados offense. The rookie quarterback is Ashley Jackson, running back Sanzo Robinson. Wide receivers Stephen Bush and Corey Jones. Tight end is Garen Malone III. A single receiver each side. 2 backs flanking Jackson in the backfield. She's going to drop back to pass. Pressure in her face, but she gets the pass away, complete for 8 yards. And a good pass out into the flat on first down, complete to Garen Malone.
It was a good pass there by Jackson. She stepped back in the pocket. She saw some pressure coming. She still stepped back, had enough time to throw, had enough poise to get it to Malone. So it was a great play there.
Second down and 2. Here is Robinson up the middle, falls forward, gets a first down. And more up to the Tulsa 31. Here is the Las Vegas defense. Safeties Anthony Wyo and Max Jackson. Corners Merrick Itera and Thomas Rahman Jr. Linebacker Abner St. John, and defensive tackle is Mike Fats Johnson.
About 3 minutes, London and New Orleans set to kick off. We'll keep you posted.
In this first quarter. Hand off to Robinson, hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 1. And Levant, you were a member of this Las Vegas defense last season. And what do you think they have to do to come up with a big win against Tulsa tonight and potentially secure themselves a playoff spot?
Or the secondary has to be on fire for them, particularly. I want to see a lot out of Weil and Jackson, particularly, because those are the key figures on this defense to really look out for, as well as Fats in the middle.
Second down at 11. Jackson going to air it out down the middle. A diving catch is not made, but there is MeUndies laundry on the field. Pass was intended for Corey Jones, as we'll check the penalty flag.
Late hit, number 13, offense.
Late hit on Tulsa. Unbelievable. As Corey
What is
Jones,
R62 thinking?
maybe in an effort to keep that from being an interception, took a late hit on the play. It'll move the Desperados back.
That was pretty strange there. It just seemed like came a little late on knocking the ball away, and in that transition just happened to come a little late.
Now 3rd and 26. Jackson just gets the pass away. It's going to go for not a sack. The big pressure.
New Orleans and London, 30 seconds from going live from
Mike Johnson.
Honore Memorial
And
Stadium.
that'll be a punt. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear.
That's a big-time
Visit
game,
MeUndies.com
and we'll have all the action.
for 15%
It'll be
off
the
of your
third
purchase
of
with
6
SFL
games kicking off tonight.
Partnership, give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and return, signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. The punter, it's blocked. The punch is blocked. It's a scramble inside the 5-yard line. Who's going to come up with the football? It doesn't matter, because it's going to be 1st and goal from the 2 for the Las Vegas Fury. How about that?
This isn't something they haven't done before. Their special teams unit has been on fire all season, including having a 3.
So Sioux Falls has scored again. We'll show you how it happened after we see Vegas and what they can do in the red zone.
Just gotta have to say that.
Cortland Weaver's punt was blocked, and now the Las Vegas Fury are set up. Here is Redford, stiff arms the man and walks into the end zone. Put it on the board. Special teams leads to offense, leads to a touchdown as Robert Redford makes his 11th rushing score of the season.
Yeah, doing what he does best, just shrugging off a defender, sending him into the turf and into the end zone for the score.
So Vegas is on the board. Let's see how Sioux Falls scored.
Ran through the entire defense, wasn't even touched. So back to me.
Let's take a look at it again.
It's called 10 situation following the penalty. Apparently I can't count. Anyway, back to throw. Warren over the middle will pick up 9 yards on that slant pattern.
Just a little slant in front of the sagging linebackers and secondary.
MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/SimulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Whoa! Nice cut.
As Colin Hart will find his way to the end zone, he explodes on 2nd down and 1. Touchdown, Sioux Falls.
Not only does he blow up the MeUndies spot,
So that's how Sioux Falls scored. Let's go to the kickoff from New Orleans.
Fire defense.
Great news for the Pharaohs.
Can be very simple. If either of these 2 teams wins, it helps their chances at getting in the playoffs. And both teams are going to be looking for that win tonight. London will start with the football on the road at 6-5. The 7-4 New Orleans Pharaohs will kick, and we're underway. Return coming out across the 25. Malinishin on the return, and he's still on his feet. Out across the 45. Oh, ball on the floor, and New Orleans recovers. And a quick turnover by London, and the Pharaohs have a dream start.
Yeah, this is a great news for the Pharaohs, because now they're going to get the ball really to start both halves of football out. If their offense can come out and take advantage of this gift that their special teams unit gave them, they are going to be sitting pretty for the start of this match.
And actually, Jeff Malinishin's body kept the ball inbounds. That was an incredible play, because it very well could have bounced out and kept the possession with the
So
Knights,
what a start in
but
New Orleans. The
unfortunately for them,
Pharaohs are
Xander
ending
Gold is out on the
up
field
going to
nearly
get the ball
immediately. His
first,
second year
but
in the league,
Las
6'5",
Vegas
200
right now is
and
back
the
into
quarterback
Tulsa
in his sophomore
territory, so we're going to
season
go
will hand
back
off on the first play.
to Vegas.
Jack up the middle, and
He
Jack
always runs angry, and he catches the ball and runs with it with violence as well. So it's going to be a rough day for Tulsa if they can't stop him.
Here's 2nd and 1. Going to be another run for Redford. He slips through. Oh, he broke a tackle and is going to walk into the end zone. Put it on the board. Robert Redford has 2 rushing touchdowns in the space of a minute and a half.
Well, this time Tulsa had absolutely no contain on the runner there. The person who was supposed to be the force guy did not get there in time. And as you just see here, he misses a tackle, and then someone just gets destroyed there, and that's it. Because with Redford, if you only have one tackler to him, that's probably
How
not
about
gonna
Las
work.
Vegas?
That's how
They
it
are
got
off
in
to
this
a hot start.
The point man was Espen Real.
Let's go back
He
to
missed a
New
tackle in
Orleans
the
now
backfield,
that
and
Vegas
then
is up 2 scores.
Take away one of New Orleans' major weapons. It is this London defense.
Yes, the London defense definitely the better of the 2 defensive units. They'll give to Jack on 3rd down, and he's got the first down to the 25. So far, it's been all Logan Jack out of the New Orleans offense.
Yeah, Logan Jack, I mean, he is the consummate workhorse with over 350 touches between runs and carries. He's averaging about 30 touches a game, and that's just a huge amount for any one player to have.
They will give to him again. He finds his way through a hole and will pick up 5 on the carry. When you talk about Logan Jack and you talk about this New Orleans franchise as a whole, you're talking really about 2 top draft picks back-to-back seasons. Xander Gold last season.
We want to hear from the winners tonight. For the first time in quite some time, you'll have a chance to call in to the Blitz. The number will be posted in the chat, and you can use your phone to give us a ring. We'll be doing that in post-game when all is said and done tonight.
Paying off this season, giving to Jack again. That time he's shut down out of the backfield. Nice job there on the defensive side by Blake Craze.
Yeah, Blake Craze, big hitter, got 50 tackles on the season. 7
New Orleans in the red zone
for loss. He is definitely going to have his hands full with Logan Jack along with his partner Slyn Shady.
3rd and 5 from the London 20. Gold fires. That's a completion, his first of the game, and it's out on the right-hand side to Deezer Powell. Just ran a little slant route.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to continue going to the running back over and over and over again, eventually you get the defenders brought up so close that you can start sneaking your wide receivers in behind them and burn them that way. That's exactly the kind of way that New Orleans wants to run their offense.
3 wide here for Gold, who fires on the right-hand side. That is caught by Matt Wolf down to the 3. Matt Wolf, kind of the afterthought in terms of these 2 receivers, but he's not having a shabby.
It's the end of the first
all.
quarter in Indy, 14-7 Sioux Falls.
Approaching the 1,000-yard mark for the season, and I mean, nobody's going to be sneezing at that. But when you're lined up across from the league leader in reception yards and the league leader in touchdowns, it's easy to get your name forgotten sometimes.
And off Jack. Oh, clobbered at the line. He was looking to find his way through, but Slyn Shady plugged that hole quickly, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what Slyn Shady is known for. He wants to get into the backfield and stop things there. He has 16 tackles for loss on the season, which puts him.
You hear the theme? That means another game has started. Denver and Vancouver is now live.
Powerhouse.
Xander Gold, a perfect 3 for 3. Nathan Blake is on stats tonight for us. They will give to Jack. Oh, and he didn't get there. Slyn Shady meets Logan Jack at the goal line and shuts him down. What a defensive stand by the Knights.
London gets the stop. Let's go back to Indy.
He knows he's got some skills and would really like to.
8 playing that lateral game.
Spitfire D suddenly getting some game. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. Hunter Jones saying, did I do a thing? Well, buddy, you've just been returning kickoffs. It's been the key swearing show offensively for your team. As the throw is intercepted.
There's
Intercepted
that pick.
by the Spitfire, and running back the other way is Von Sinia. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
And the Spitfire's roaring here.
Looking for A.J. Warren, and Tyree just flat out underthrew that thing.
We just talked about how the Spitfire defense suddenly seemed to be getting themselves organized, and with a pass breakup and a near pick, and right there, almost too easy.
That was Peyton Ellison, rather, who snagged that out of the air. And you got to love it. You got a bunch of rookies on this defense, 3 of them, in fact, all of them mid-waiver wire transactions. Good for Indianapolis as the extra point knocks this thing
How
up
about
at
them Spitfire? They're going to tie the game on a
14
pick six.
apiece
Nice
with
job by,
10,
I believe,
15
Peyton
to go
Ellison
and
there
missed
in the
second
slot.
quarter.
And a good call by Colin
Well,
and Rick.
some
Let's go
people
back
say,
to
geez,
London and
Indy
New Orleans, where the
has a
Pharaohs got a
3-8
field goal off that
record.
last drive
They gotta
thanks to
mail it
Slynn
in.
Shady's
Well, the
goal
answer's
line
no.
stop. Andy Hamilton
These
and
games,
Gus
even though
Schultz
you're not
on the
in
call.
Playoff picture. These games are very
just
important.
a good run to get
build.
things going. Reggie Streeter, again, he leads the league in running back carries and 3rd, as we talked about, in total yards. So he's the big part of their offense. But they've got the Hands brothers out there, as well as Ken McCarro at wide receiver, and those guys are all having pretty solid years as well.
Roby looking to throw, fires across the middle. That's a one-handed grab there by Donnie Hands. Oh, he's got some hands, and he pulls it in.
Yeah, Gary Bertier laying the smackdown there with that tackle. He has a lot of meat to put behind that effort, and just laying Mr. Hands out.
It'll set up a 1st and 10 at the 46.
Tulsa's in the red zone. We'll join them shortly.
First frame of play, and it'll be 4 wide for the London Knights. Roby, a little bit of a low snap, will fire, floats one to the near side or far side, and it's incomplete. He was looking for James Hands, the Hands brothers, the receiving unit here in London.
Yep, and they are a very solid receiving unit. You know, if you look at the 2 of them, they're at about 1,200 yards on the season. Then you throw in Ken McCarro there as well. He brings another 947 yards himself. So this is a very potent offense, but they have a turnover problem, and that's really been one of their big woes this season.
Running through the 6 with my woes. 3 wide here for Roby. Oh, wow, put it on a string and completes it there to Ken McCarro. McCarro, one of the top receiver actually for London, number 19 in receiving yards, and he hauls that one in to make this 3rd and short.
And what a beautifully threaded pass by Roby there. I mean, there were so many defenders.
Tracking Tulsa and Vegas. It's 14-0 right now. 1st and 10 for Tulsa. Just got a 3-yard run.
Well, the lone man is Reggie Streeter with a fullback in front of him. Gets a great block and is free. Reggie Streeter down across the 20. Will they bring him down? 10, 5. No, he is into the end zone, and London is in the lead.
What a monster block, and then the shedded tackles on top of it. I thought for sure this run was going to come to an end at a very impressive 16 to 20 yards, but he just turns the jets on and runs straight through that tackle and says, I see your slow chip drive. We're going to come out and run it down your throat.
His 16th touchdown in this SFL season.
What a run from London. They needed that out of Reggie Streeter.
For any of you who are looking to get involved with the SFL action, our next rookie draft will be sometime in the June, July area, so make sure you are
We've
signed
got a
up on the
3rd
Discord,
down
get
in
involved,
Vegas, and let's go
you are
there.
gonna wanna be
The sideline there. That was her bad.
3rd and 7. They can get a 1st down inside the 2-yard line. But it's going to be Jackson alone in the backfield with 5 receivers. He's going to throw near side, and it's going to be incomplete. Again, leading the receiver out of bounds. This time, Aaron King was the intended target, and on steps the Tulsa kicker, Andrew Wheeler.
This is a bit unfortunate to get down the field in this much time and only come out of it with 3 points, still being down by loads.
from just about 25 yards. Field goal is right down Main Street. So the Desperados get on the board, and I think as you mentioned, Lamont, it was a very good drive. A lot of Sanzo Robinson.
So Tulsa's on the board. It's 14-3. Queen City and Baltimore to kick off at about 7 minutes. And Denver and Vancouver is now underway from Canada Field. That's 4 games live in action right now on the Blitz.
This game, you just want to get your rhythm and flow back out into your offense, and if they can keep doing that, they can start chipping away at this lead. They really need their defense to step it up, but other than that, they should be fine if they're able to do that the rest of the game.
It starts with good special teams play as Max Jackson only gets to his own 26-yard line. It'll be the deepest starting field position of the game for Thomas Rahman and the rest of the Las Vegas offense.
It's going to be a key for Las Vegas just to see how accurate and how precise Rahman can be, because he has his on days, he has his off days.
Never satisfied. 1, 2, 3. Each team has 12 user players. We have 21 teams in the league.
As fast as you can blink. He got a little bit of a hole and he took it all the way.
If you'd like to join the SFL,
the
link to our Discord,
you know, a little bit of a fracas there at the beginning of
is
the
in the chat, and
like, well,
I say hello to you from SFL headquarters. Happy to have you here.
Lineman took a hit. He hit one of the defenders. It's all even there, and he got a first down out of it too. So hey.
First and 10 at the 37. This should likely be the last play of the first quarter. Rahman back to throw. Goes down the sideline, knocked away. Beautiful play by the corner, Nate Heslip, to knock the pass down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if Heslip wasn't able to get there in time, that probably would have been a touchdown. So great job and good awareness by Heslip to just get a hand in there in time.
What's up, Ashley? Thank you, Ron.
Coverage all the way down the sideline.
Thanks, Jeff.
And now here's 2nd down and 10. Heavy set for Las Vegas, with 3 behind Rahman. Redford's going to get the ball, get blockers, go down the sideline, and he's breaking free. Nobody can catch him. It's the ever scroll by movement block of the game, and it leads to a hat trick of first quarter touchdowns for Robert Redford.
You almost attributed that to the wrong man, but I wouldn't blame you. I mean,
Robert Redford's on point tonight. My goodness.
Redford show from here, so you know we haven't really seen that much of Rahman. But let's just look at this block. That right there sealed the edge. With that, that was it. Redford was off to the races. He's faster than everyone on that defense, so that was it for them.
Once again, he gets an inch and he takes a mile. Or in that case, about
20-3 now.
yards.
Let's go back to Indy.
For so many other contract reserve defenders to get their hands on the ball.
Right.
So they line up in 3-man backfield set. And Hart will take the carry. He's been bottled up pretty well, but he sets up a 3rd and 1 as he picks up 2.
Right. Thought actually he was going to make the first down, but good recovery there by the Spitfires. You know, they run that three-man plus the QB in the backfield out of that tight bunch. And I think it's confusing.
They go trips to the top. Ray Lynn is in the slot. Tyree will throw it out to Hart instead. Who? Oh! I thought he had the first down for a moment, but
sure looked like
New Orleans got into London territory, but their drive stalls out. They'll have to punt.
And I tell you what, this young rookie has been impressive so far for Indianapolis defensively.
Absolutely.
Let's, for the first time tonight, join our broadcast crew in Denver for Vancouver.
1-yard gain for McChesney.
And the Night Wings.
Handoff. And that's to the left. Broken tackle, but he cannot break 7 tackles. It'll be 3rd and 9. Only a 1-yard gain for McChesney.
Chris Curtis and T-Roy Gaines
gets in and makes the stop happen. 3rd and 9 for the Night Wings.
And with that tackle, he's inches closer to his 300th career tackle. Great job by Frank Champion there, and the rest of the Legion is going to need. You're going to need at least 2 or 3 people to stop McChesney. He's a great back.
Question: Champion should be 8 shy of 300 now, right?
Yes, now 8.
Okay, good. Good. Chance for Miller on third down, going long left side. That's caught, and he's going to have it towards the sideline. What a grab. Giacomo Jones with a real good grab is going to take it all the way down inside the 35 of Vancouver.
Nice dot by Josh Miller, but great job by
You heard the
JJ.
theme.
Giacomo
Baltimore and
Jones
Queen
able to
City
climb
is
the
now
ladder
live.
and make that
5
catch.
games
And
on
help
Blitz
get,
Live. We go for the record
sorry, help
6
get
in about
Denver.
10
These
minutes.
uniforms are confusing. Get Denver closer to the red zone.
3 in the backfield. One of them is going to be McChesney. He's going to get the ball on first down, get it to the outside, try to cut the corner. He will, down to the 15-yard line, and he will get tackled there, 1st and 10.
Denver's in the red zone, but you got to see what happened to Vegas here
And
just
that
now.
Something
carry.
with those swing passes and
What a wild play! Anthony Wyo comes up with the pick at
Look at
his
this.
own 19-yard line.
You know, that's what I was talking about when I was talking about that secondary. Look at that man go.
Oh.
Wild, right here with the interception. You know it. Snubbed for the Pro Bowl last season, trying to make a case to make it this season, and he makes a very good case for himself right
That's
there.
a
with the
tough break
interception.
for Las Vegas. Or, I'm sorry, for
Jackson
Tulsa.
avoided the rush.
And Las Vegas, I tell you what, they're
Gunned
playing
it
like a
down
team
the
that wants a
field looking
playoff
for
spot here in the
Stephen
first
Bush.
half.
It was off his hands, and Anthony Wyo was there to pick up the pieces. A second interception.
We're watching Denver in the red zone.
Here's Redford up the middle again, breaking tackles again, running down the field again, and nobody's gonna catch him. 81 yards, put it on the board. Robert Redford has 4 touchdowns in a quarter and a half.
Wow.
Yo, look at this man go with the burst of speed. Instead of power, he goes with finesse and just sends it to the house like a rocket, he just flew like the Phoenix in the stadium and got to the end zone in no time fast. Blink and you'd miss it, I swear. Look at it again. Just look at his feet go. This man's probably churning a mile a minute every time he takes a step.
The Tulsa defense currently has no answer for the Robert Redford show.
That is redonkulous. Back to Denver. Red zone opportunity.
And we'll see where they decide to go. Kramer Jackman right here. May not matter. Through the middle. Is he at the first down? It's 4th and inches. And decision time here for the Nightwings as they think about taking the lead either way.
End of the first quarter in New Orleans.
We'll
London
see
leads
where
7-3.
they decide to go. Kramer Jackman ready to kick this ball if they decide to do that, but it doesn't look like they are taking him onto the field just yet. Miller is on the field for this 4th and inches. Do they snap the ball? That's going to be the main question. They're at the 5-yard line. It'd be 1st and goal if they do get a first down. Still 8 on the play clock. It may not be for them to run a play. They may try to draw the defense here, and indeed they will call a
Baltimore
timeout.
and
So
Queen
look for
City
Kramer
is
Jackman
underway.
to come out and attempt this.
A
chip
Corsairs
shot. Should be a
win
22-yard
would really
attempt.
muck things up.
Kramer
Baltimore
Jackman and Ashley
has
Finch,
been the hot team.
for
Queen
one
City the
kicker for
exact
each
opposite
side.
coming
They're
into
both
this week.
perfect this season, Troy,
Corsairs
which is
got a
difficult
long
to
road
do
ahead.
in this day and age of kickers.
Yes, it is, and that's why they are both reliable for their respective teams. Very valuable weapons. You see them on the field, it's usually guaranteed points.
Yeah, get ready for the jinx, right?
Yeah, I know.
On the left
Knock on
hash. Yeah, if they miss this, the jinx is real. That's just kind of how it goes. 22-yard chip shot for Jackman. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up and on the way, and it is through from 22. Denver gonna take the lead 3-0 in a must-win game for them, which is hard to say being as they're 9-2, but I mean, for those
Denver
that are joining us
tacks on a
late,
field
this is
goal. Let's join
pivotal game
Baltimore
for
and
them to
Queen
try to
City
lock up
for the first time tonight.
2 great plays, passing plays from Queen City early. Thought they'd come out running, trying to establish the ground game, but not exactly what they're doing so far as they're 2 for 2 on pass plays, both pretty big.
So 1st and 10 now from the 35, drops back, Caswell to throw, throws left, it is complete. J.K. Johnson gets it out enough for a first down, 1st and 10 from the 24.
Queen City
Rookie
moving the ball early.
J the third coming into today's game with 31 catches for 316 yards. Still looking for
So
his
the
first
Corsairs
touchdown, but it's nice
are
to
nearing
see
the red zone.
the third
Let's
option was
go
Queen City
back
pass
to
attack,
Denver.
getting in
where
the game early.
Vancouver has the ball up to midfield.
Another moment in time. It is a Sunday night. We got football everywhere across the country. That's over the middle, and that's a catch. 1st and 10 for Vancouver. And that is a nice one for Brett Killian, who brings that one in, and it's 1st down.
And this combination can potentially be a record-breaking
Queen City
combination.
just
Tom
crossed
Pepper
into the
only
red
needed
zone.
27
We'll
yards
join
for
him shortly in that
12,000
scoreless
career
game. It's
passing.
early.
He's very close to there. And then Brett Killian himself
28-3
needs
Las
89
Vegas
yards
right
for
now over
4,900
Tulsa.
for his
Tulsa
career. So
playing like a team that
these two look like
got
they're ready
eliminated
to
just a
make
few
some
days ago.
milestones tonight, Chris.
Yeah, it's a night of milestones, hopefully, for everybody on this field. Somewhere down the line, Pepper has it in the gun. Looks to throw, puts it over the middle. That's a grab on the crossing pattern, and another good one as a 1st down. It comes from this as well for Brett Killian. 2 catches on 2 plays.
And now he's even closer, but we need to congratulate Tom Pepper because that should put him over 12,000 yards as a quarterback, career passing. A great career for Mr. Tom Pepper.
Yeah, the one thing he has not done is get to the SFL championship game, which he won't this year, but could possibly. I know they have some things working in Vancouver.
2-minute warning in Indy. We haven't been there in quite a bit. Those teams have been going back and forth. It's still tied at 14.
Try to get his guy there. That's good stuff.
Yes. Agreed. But this was one of the passes that Sanchez should have dropped.
60 viewers. We got to get triple figures with 6 games going.
200. He only needs 5 now. 5 more receptions to get to 200.
2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss on the last play. They're at the 43-yard line. Pepper to throw. Long drop back. Looks to wing it over the middle. Does so. Caught. 10-5. That is a Vancouver touchdown. And you saw that coming from the start of that play. What a bomb over the middle for Mickey Martino.
He was wide open. He beat everybody. The Denver defense was more focused on other receivers, and Mickey Martino was able to run right by him, wide open. Warner just bit on something that he shouldn't have.
Wide open for Martino. A couple of field goal updates.
Martino,
New Orleans
he's
tacked
over
on
2,000
3. That's a 7-6 game in the second quarter. Queen City's opening drive ends with a field goal.
Just because of that
They
catch
chose
there.
to receive the ball to start the first half. They lead 3-0 over Baltimore.
To answer the field goal as the Legion are going to take the lead. And Denver faithful sweating a little bit here in the first quarter. Ashley Finch attempts the extra point. That kick is up and on the way, and it is through. Put 7 on the board for Vancouver as they get the long touchdown. A 37-yard touchdown
We got London on the move. Let's go to
from Tom Pepper,
New Orleans
quarterback. That is a
for the Pharaohs and the Knights.
Defense. The handoff goes to Streeter off the right side, and Streeter is corralled after a 7-yard pickup. He is very dangerous tonight now, up over 80 yards.
Yeah, 80 yards on the ground so far, and another 12 through the air. I mean, he's pushing in on almost 100 yards.
Quickly, back to Queen City. Check this out.
Yeah, heads-up play by Achilles Frank to catch the interception off the deflection, and Queen City able to force Dazzo, who doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, into an early interception here, and now they're going to have great field position to try to actually put up 7 points on this drive.
How about that? So Mike Dazzo with the pick.
A force to be reckoned with, and he has
and
to be.
Queen City's off to a hot start, back to New Orleans.
Reggie Streeter is your entire job as a linebacker on this New Orleans defense tonight. And so far, they haven't been doing a great job. They really have to step up and get him out of his element.
Flipping it out to the fullback here on the far side of the field, and that is good for the first down to the 33. Nice little toss by Roby to find one of the role players who picks up the first down.
And I believe that is the first third down conversion for London tonight. And, but at the same time, they've only come up on third down 2 times.
And Queen City is moving it.
Monstrous run for the touchdown. You just don't
back into scoring range
for it.
Twins to the top of the screen. Roby directing traffic in the shotgun, will throw. Stands, delivers. Oh, nearly taken away, but it's caught on the sideline by Ken Maccaro. That was a dangerous throw, but somehow Roby
looks like Tulsa got a goal line stand.
Needs to calm down just a little bit more
but
there.
Vegas moved the ball again down the field.
Putting the ball so close to
field goal up and good. 31-3 Las Vegas over Tulsa right now.
Taking it all the way back to the house. and just deflating all of the momentum that you've built up
Queen
so
City just hit Stephen Hacker again inside the 5 now. It's first and goal from the 4 for the Corsairs.
Look out of New Orleans. Roby, quick out route is caught.
That's where we're going to go. To Buffalo.
There for Ken McCarro.
That
nice
formation.
grab.
Caswell's going to give it to Odom. Goes left-hand side in the end zone. Touchdown, Corsairs.
Powerful running by Ash Odom. It's what he's known for. Now he's got his team up 2 possessions, and he just picked up his 8th touchdown of the season. Tremendous job by the Corsairs here early in the first few minutes of the first quarter.
Well, we talked about it. If Queen City loses, they're out of the playoffs, and they're playing.
So Queen City scores back to London.
Sure. And I think part of that has to do with it's such an advertised run attempt. You know, London has invested very heavily in their wide receiving core, and so you expect them to kind of spread the field out and then use Streeter's ability to break tackles to let him run from there. If you throw heavy, they know the run's coming.
McDaniel, 5 tackles tonight, looking to add on to that as we near the end of the second quarter. First flip out there from Roby. Wow, I don't know how he got that one away. I don't know how he completed it, but it is a couple yards worth of gain for London. The grab is made on the outside by Shikonomi Langley.
Yeah, and as long as London doesn't go backwards here, they should be able to make the field goal.
Sioux Falls just missed a 44-yard field goal. That game is still tied at 14, nearing halftime.
Everyone's on the outside. Roby with some pressure immediately moves up in the pocket, delivers down the field for a touchdown. Have you ever seen something so incredible? What a move up in the pocket, and Andy Mann is in the end zone for the touchdown.
I am just in utter shock here. I thought for sure when that defender broke through the line and had a free run to the quarterback, there's no way this play doesn't end in a sack and probably drop him out of field goal range. But then Roby with the veteran-like move coming
The Moon King, it is the next to last day of the regular season, but some serious wrapping up going on here tonight.
Playoff time, and Rob Roby seems to have known it and fires a
Let's go to Indy.
Timeout left for Sioux Falls. We'll see what they
remember. This is coming after the missed field goal from Sioux Falls. We just missed this live.
See the kicker on the field.
Well, actually,
they will kick it with 14 seconds left.
Spotted at the 32. That's 42
Well,
yards.
we already know he missed it.
For you.
Let's see what happened after that.
Pharaohs tacked on another field goal, and now they're down to 0.7-6 in that game, with time remaining in the second quarter. T.D. Drew will wind up to take a big shot down the field.
Oh, he's got him!
Christie. He turns on the speed, and Christie is going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Oh my, get out the right bread and mustard, Grandma.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Totally unexpected. Well, how big is that not running one more play with a timeout left for Sioux Falls?
And A.J. Levy goes in the chat, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, you know, for the Sioux Falls faithful.
Wow. How about that from Indy? Back to Vancouver.
3 in the backfield for Miller. Handoff McChesney trying to bust the left side. He'll break a tackle. Going to try to break a second one. He will. He has more room to run. Trying to break 3 and 4 tackles, and he'll get taken down inside of Legion territory to the 48-yard line. What a run from that man right there.
To New Orleans.
It is to Jack. Jack escapes the first tackle. Logan Jack still on his feet. He's got the speed. Does he have the power to get away? He does. Logan Jack into the end zone, and New Orleans strikes back.
Well, Logan Jack finding the next salvo in this battle there. He breaks 1 billion tackles.
We can't even stay here long. Back to Vancouver.
Handoff, nope, play action. Third play action of the game so far. That's gone to the 15, 10, to the 5, and he's taken down at the 4. Nearly got to the end zone. What a play over the middle. Could not quite finish it off, but a great-looking play design, as that is going to get the Nightwings down at the 1st and goal.
And this is the dual threat. The kick returner and the slot receiver, Steven Vega, makes his third catch, I believe, in today's game. And when you have other star receivers on the team, they somehow forget about Steven Vega, and he will burn you.
He will indeed. No doubt this is going to be a first and goal play for Josh Miller and company. A game Denver needs. We'll see if they can punch this in and take the lead. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom of your screen. Plenty in the box defensively. Miller to throw, throws, back in the end zone, and he tiptoed in. Touchdown, Denver.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Toe drag swag. That's the name of this play right here. Toe drag swag. Nice job by Logan Hill, who finally breaks his streak of consecutive games with only 1 catch. This is his second one, and it's a beauty. Nice catch. You only need 1 foot. I don't know. If I was Vancouver, I might challenge that because it looked like both feet were out of bounds after that catch.
Yeah, only need 1 foot, so we'll see if we get a Harry's close call, close shave, but I don't know if we're going to get the chance for that. Denver has the lead at the moment. Extra point looks to be lined up. We'll see if that becomes a thing. Snap is low. Kick up and on the way. It is still good. Jackman is good on the extra point, although it did not look
Tallahassee and Chicago are now live. Tulsa is in the red zone. Let's go back to Vegas.
We'll see what we get here. Robinson up the middle. Did he push the pile forward? Yes, he did. Timeout. Tulsa with 42 seconds to go.
Another matchup.
Chicago-Tallahassee is live. That is the 6th live game going on right now, only here on Blitz Live.
For Las Vegas, the Queen City Corsairs are ahead of the Vultures 10-0.
From the 13-yard line, 1st down and 10. Ashley Jackson surveys the field from her under center position. Hands weak side to Robinson. Robinson is stood up and dropped after a gain of 4. Here comes the up-tempo offense with 33 seconds to go in the half and counting. Another handoff. Robinson running left, and he gets stuffed after a gain of 2. Good tackle on the play that time by Anthony Wyo, who it's looking like he is the spy on the running back in these close yardage situations.
Yeah, it looks like he is. They're using him more for that, and they're probably sending.
If your teammates aren't here for Blitz Live right now, make sure that after your game is concluded, that they come on into Blitz. We'll have all of the scenarios and all the conversation of how things played out tonight.
Caught first down to the 2. 22 seconds left, now 20. Tulsa does have a 3rd timeout if they choose to use it. They're inside the 2-yard line. Jackson looking, moves in the pocket, throws to the end zone. It's bobbing in the air and almost intercepted. And that could have been a disaster, but disaster avoided, and they're going to have a couple of more shots.
Chicago and Tallahassee have kicked off.
In the half.
Yeah, Tulsa's really lucky to have the ability to continue to play offense here, because that right there should have been a pick. Instead, they're going to go with a field goal. I mean, I don't like this, but okay.
I'm with you, Levant. I'm not sure what the thought process is bringing Andrew Wheeler out for the chip shot field goal with 11 seconds left. His kick is up and right down Main Street. Make that an 18-yard field goal.
So that a bit perplexing there from Tulsa. They're down 25, and for the first time tonight, we will join Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson on the call from Tallahassee.
It's going to be a battle all day today between Francis and the Chicago linebacking core, which is extremely, extremely dangerous, and definitely held the Mexico City Aztec rushing attack in check last week.
Single back formation here on 2nd down. Ball is handed off to Francis. Trucks his way forward for about 6 yards as he gets 1st down yardage up to the 42-yard line. Let's take a look at this Chicago Wildcat defense. Some of the key players. Linebacker Dylan Rowland having a fantastic season. 130 tackles, puts him at 2nd in the league. 12 tackles for a loss and a pick. He's a heck of a linebacker. Joined by Clint Hendershot. At cornerback, Blake Hamrick and Jesse Vick, and safeties Maurice Spurgeon and A.J. Barnes. Christensen to throw for the first time tonight. Throws over the middle, and that one's tipped and picked off. Intercepted back at the 30-yard line. Hauled in by Jesse Vick, I believe, which would be his 3rd interception on the season.
Great start for the Chicago defense. Putting a little bit of pressure on Christian Christensen. Then, I don't know, did the ball bounce off the hands of Grayson Willis? It might have been slightly deflected. Heads up play by Chicago.
Let's go to Queen City for a big 3rd down here for Baltimore.
Trips to the right, one to the left, empty backfield. Dazzo drops back to throw, goes right, and that one is tipped and knocked down again. That one by Pharaoh Rains, and that'll force a 4th down.
Great coverage by this Queen City secondary, and just a good job to force Baltimore into a field goal. Better than giving up 7, but for Baltimore, you can almost count on their kicker, Shark Tarkington, who's only missed 1 field goal coming in today, 23-24. He's very clutch when it comes to these field goals, especially in his own range.
This will be just about a 43-yard attempt for Tarkington. Like you said, he's 23-24 on the season. The hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good. It is good from 43. So the Vultures get on the board. It is now Queen City 10, Baltimore 3.
So Baltimore makes it happen. Let's go back to Canada.
I'd like to see Vancouver actually use their kick returner as a receiver on this drive. Chris Bond's usually a reliable receiver whenever they look his way.
It'll be a throw for Pepper, left side. Oh, nearly intercepted. You know, I think the wobble on that ball actually stopped the interception, which was nearly in the cards, as Killian was the intended target.
Yeah, B.J. Armstrong was the guy who had a chance to make it INT, but yep, that wobbly pass for off the timing because he had both hands. He was trying to climb that ladder, failed to do so, and Vancouver lives to fight another down.
That's a real close play. Denver nearly brought that back to the house because there was nobody between him and the end zone. Might have been caught looking ahead.
Robert Redford has 202 yards in 23 minutes of work tonight.
See if Vancouver's offense can rebound off of that near interception.
Dangerous times. That's a play to the right for Ivan Sanchez that goes absolutely nowhere. 3rd and 10 for the Vancouver offense. As we take a look at the standings so far, top 6, Denver has the number 1 spot at the moment. As mentioned, they win this game, they lock up the 1 seed and home field throughout. Alaska, Dallas, Baltimore, and Mexico City even right on their heels at the moment. And they would fall down many as far as 4 possibly. That's a long bomb, and it's caught deep towards the 15-yard line and stopped there. Chris Braun with a massive catch, and Tom Pepper with a long-distance call.
That's what I wanted to see earlier. I wanted to see Chris Braun get a chance to make a catch because when the ball is thrown to him, he usually comes down with that, and he did there. Great job. We'll see if Vancouver can convert this to 6. They're already in field goal range, but I know they want to retake the lead.
What a play by Vancouver's offense. That brings them right back into the red zone.
Indianapolis just got a pick. They're still up.
1st and 10. Pepper looks to throw. Plenty of time over the middle. That's caught. 10-5 to the house. That is a touchdown for Vancouver, and that is not something Denver wanted to see, but it's in the end zone.
There's something about Vancouver and playing against good teams want to pull off an upset. Great play by Pepper, finding his wide receiver right there, able to fit it in between.
Let's see, can we get this play by Stephen Hacker?
So we'll talk a little bit about this Baltimore defense. Outside linebacker Joe Dazzo.
Watch this play from
linebacker
Hacker.
Takes.
This is ridiculous.
Kaz McFly and Hendricks Wild Thornberry. Safeties are Tony Willis and Giovanni Bolt.
Just happened live.
Good, strong defense for the Vultures. Caswell throws deep downfield to the left. He's got his man. That's Hacker. Down to the 20. 15, almost down to the 10-yard line. Stopped at the 14-yard line. Finally caught up to him, Kaz McFly.
Stephen Hacker working this secondary of Baltimore that's usually a lockdown unit, and now he has 5 catches off 5 targets for 80 yards, and he's moved his offense into the red zone of Baltimore for the second time in this first quarter. And if Baltimore can walk away with a touchdown, that's going to be huge for them.
Hackers in the chat.
Seems to be having his way this game with this Baltimore defense. Drops back. Caswell pump fakes, goes across the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Queen City.
There he is again.
Again, Stephen Hacker across the middle.
Who else are you going to look towards when you got your guys running free over the middle? What a first quarter for Steven. He's, excuse my stats from the previous catch, he's actually up to 7 catches off 7 targets, 150 yards and a touchdown.
Woo!
And that's, I mean, from this rookie, that's got to be one of the best first quarters in SFL history from a rookie wide receiver.
Wait a minute, did he just say 150 in the first quarter?
As a rookie, and I believe that's going to be 13
Whoa.
touchdowns.
You know, we talk about
that caught me off guard. New Orleans just added a field goal just before the end of the first half. They're up 16-14 over the Knights.
Management staff from Queen City selecting Stephen Hacker in the draft at pick 14, 14 of 21 picks, and it's kind of late.
Let's go to.
They did a good job of recognizing the talent that he comes with.
Where do we want to go? Let's go to Indy.
So far this season. So
where the Spitfire have the lead and the ball.
He was dead to rights at the line of scrimmage and turns that into some production, bringing up 2nd and 2.
And the defender will go back to the sidelines and say to his coach, "Oh, that was just a flesh wound."
What is your name? Tim.
And Barnhart pops in the chat as Swearingen again gets down to the 18. John Barnhart says, "I guess we want to play on Wild Card Day." Here's a bunch at the top, and Indianapolis is putting an impressive showing on this last home game for their fans this week as Swearingen again picks up 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Can we just take a second to acknowledge the fact that right now 3 of the top 6 teams are losing. In fact, the only 3 teams in the top 6 playing tonight, Denver, Baltimore, and Sioux Falls, are all at the moment trailing.
2 receivers either side. Drew back to throw. Throws a duck to the end zone. Oh, it is knocked away by Jay Ringgold, the free safety.
Boy, that's
pass intended for Dale.
Very similar to the target he had on the possession earlier in the game where he made an ill-advised throw into the back of the end zone. First time the receiver was well covered. This time is in double coverage. See what they've got here as they go tight bunch on the right side of the formation.
And they go bunch again. Swing again. This time one-handed catch.
And it's short of the line. They'll bring up 4th down.
But an easy field goal attempt for Vinchek.
So Indy will kick the field goal. We'll update you on whether that is good or not. In the meantime, Denver is threatening in scoring position.
Denver wide out. Under center is Miller. As McChesney in the backfield looking to throw, puts it over the middle. That's tipped and incomplete. That was very much in danger. And Vancouver nearly took that away. 2nd and 10.
And Irvine with the pat down there. Good job by him. Now we'll see if the Denver defense can hold, the Vancouver defense
Field
can
goal
hold
good.
Denver
Indy leads
to a
by
field
10
goal
now
attempt
over Sioux Falls.
and still keep the lead going into halftime.
Split backs formation for Denver. 2nd and 10, just north of the 2-minute warning here. Handoff McChesney. He's got some room to run, and he'll have a first down. That should take us to the 2-minute warning presented by Quip. It will do just that. 120 seconds to halftime. 14.
Well, we've got a 2-minute warning. I just want to shout out everybody that's here tonight. I appreciate all of you being here. Smaller crowd than we would have hoped for on one of the most exciting nights of any regular season anywhere, but
they wanted to hold Denver to a field
we're
goal
having a good
attempt.
time. Certainly lots of close games around the league right now.
Can't delay things too much, though. Can't delay things too much. Vancouver wants the ball back. See if they can get that here. 1st and 10 as Denver has the ball back in their possession. To the outside, thrown towards the sideline, and he will get taken out of bounds. A 5-yard completion for Logan Keel, his 3rd catch. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with time.
By the way, that Chicago-Tallahassee score isn't wrong. That game is still scoreless with about 3.5 to go in the first quarter.
Try for 30 days and support the SFL with the promo code in the scroll below.
If you're just joining us, those are your live strength of victory.
A more wholesome clean.
Numbers for each team. Strength of victory
Chance
could
for
play
the Nightwings possibly take the lead back.
a big part in either
2nd
one
and
or
5.
multiple tiebreakers when it's all said and
That's
done.
a run through the middle that's not going to go anywhere. McChesney gets taken down at the 10-yard line, 3rd and a couple, or 3rd and 5.
Baltimore's
again.
tacked
Stanley
on a
Hudson
field
comes up and
goal.
makes a play.
They still trail
The second time he called
17-6
Stanley's
in
name
Buffalo.
today's game. He had a sack earlier. And anybody's going to be facing Denver in the playoffs, the key factor is make sure you got 2 people, at least 2 people, meeting the Chesney before he gets started.
Canada Field getting loud for their Legion, trying to will their team to a stop. Throw over the middle, caught, 10-5 touchdown. It's Denver back on top again, and the Nightwings crawl back in front. They will
Shout out
not
to the
go
Obscurus,
away.
who's
What a
getting
play
ready
from
for
Denver's offense.
the rookie draft, and
that's
Ron
Ken
Cochran
Lowell
for the
who made
100
the
bits.
catch.
We appreciate
This
all
is
your
his
support.
rookie year, the 6'6", 240-pounder.
Great play
Got his
by
4th
Kenloa.
touchdown
Las
of
Vegas
his
is back
career.
in the red zone.
And very important
Extending
one.
it, Redford up the middle, and nobody's going to stop him. It's a 5-touchdown night for Robert Redford. Put it on the board once again.
Like, finally get it back in the hands of Redford, and sure hands indeed, because as soon as he gets this ball, he's off, and bam! Takes one with him for good measure.
Kyler Murray by himself had no chance of bringing down rumbling Redford. And then he drags the veteran.
Well, Tulsa's in a tough spot. We probably won't be to Vegas too much longer here as that game is in the 3rd quarter.
Matt Rage on to attempt.
Let's go back to Buffalo where Queen City is turning some heads.
Like 14 down there on the field. It is cold down there. And that 17-mile-an-hour wind could play some havoc. And he's going to be sacked. A.J. Caswell brought down.
Albert Butler, again, for the 3rd time, calling out his name here in the first half, making a play, 2nd sack of the game, and he is so far tormenting A.J. Caswell. And, yeah, like you said, it's frigid down there on the field. We both had a chance to be down there, talk to a couple players before the game started, and we only lasted a couple seconds.
Yeah, I don't like it cold. So that's no. There's a snap. Caswell throws over the middle. It is complete and still moving. Down to the 50. Still going. Stephen Hacker to the 30. 20. Nobody's going to catch him. 10-5. Touchdown, Queen City.
Did I just see that? Did I just see that right?
Hacker doing his work
Did you see
tonight.
that spin? That was Tony Willis. Watch this again. Stephen Hacker, he's over 200 yards in the first half.
This crowd, they were thunderous on that play. I mean, I
Oh.
have never seen a receiver catch the ball while taking it away from a defender, putting a spin move.
Hacker
right
with the
after
200
catch,
bits.
and then just burning
For over 200 yards in the first half, and the Corsairs,
now Stephen Hacker is up over
who have been
200
free
yards
falling in the
half.
last
That has
month,
gotta be one of the best
are up by
plays I've seen
17 on the
all
Vultures right
season.
now.
And man, what a way to show up for your team.
This is a
when
stunner.
You were fighting for your lives here in Week 13, looking for that last playoff spot. I'm just blown away and impressed.
And I think you
New
hit on
Orleans
that
is on the
spin
move in a tight
Tony
game against London. We have not valued this game enough. This has been a very well played and tightly contested football game.
That's my vote for hit of the year right there, folks. That was incredible.
500 bits from
One of the
the
harder
Obscurus.
ones I've
He's
ever seen.
moving up the draft board
And,
quick.
London
ready to
is
go
the
for the draft.
Hard hits here, and on 3rd and 10, New Orleans will flip it out there. Oh, Deezer Powell makes a man miss, and a first down after taking a hit like that. That's got to be an incredible play from Deezer Powell to get back in the huddle and take the next catch and make it a first down.
All right, Blitz Live, what's the most shocking result so far? Indianapolis, Las Vegas, or Queen City? Those are the 3 games that have double-digit scores. End of the first quarter in Tallahassee, goose eggs all around.
7:23 left in the 3rd quarter, and they're going to go heavy here. I formation, everyone up on the line for the Pharaohs. Gold gonna throw it, slings it out to Jack, and Jack escapes the tackle. I thought he was dead to rights, but he picks up 7.
Yeah, he just looked across the field, saw that it was Dean Maddox who, laid that really good hit on him earlier to stop him, and he's like, no, you can get me once, but I'm getting you the second time, and runs straight through that tackle.
2nd and 3 from the London Knights 9-yard line. Just over 7 minutes left to go in the 3rd frame of play. 4-3 look out of London. They give to Jack again, and that time he is corralled by
Looks like Vancouver just missed a field goal,
he is penned up, and
so they're still down by 3.
Made by Malcolm Tucker, the defensive tackle.
Yep, and this is a 3rd and very manageable for this New Orleans team. They are 7 of 10 on 3rd down tonight already, so they've had great efficiency there, and I fully expect them to be able to get this one here, unless we get a trademark London interception.
Well, don't commentators curse him here. Gold flings outside. That is caught. Well-placed ball, really where only the receiver, Deezer Powell, could go get it.
Yep, and that is the kind of catch that wide receivers live to make. They get the toes down, they're leaning out over the field where that ball is nice and protected, and they get to pick up the first down. And it's great to see their focus on the pass here now in this second half. Deezer Powell up to 4 catches, Matt Wolf has got 4, and so we're really starting to see more balance in that ball getting spread out across the New Orleans offense.
Hand off Jack. No, not on that play. London read it well and plugged that middle of the field. We've already seen them come up with 1 goal line stand. Do they have another one in their back pocket?
Yeah, this is all Slin Shady right here.
Sioux Falls and Indy are going to the 4th quarter. The Spitfire up 24-14.
Where he has to meet Logan Jack. This is really a matter of how he can read Logan.
Sioux Falls may be threatening here. I'm going to get a ball spot.
Formation here. And Gold will look to throw, and he will look to get sacked down at the 7. London brought the hit.
Yeah, Indy is, check that. Sioux Falls is just outside the Indianapolis 25-yard line.
Down rushing attempt, and possibly even the 4th down.
Trying to make a comeback.
Attempt. By getting this big sack, you are going to force them to throw the ball on 3rd down and try to beat you that way. And London, as
Hart just got him in the red zone, will join Indy and Sioux Falls shortly.
They've got so many players at the top of the interception charts.
3rd and goal. Gold floats back in the end zone. Oh, they're going to call him in. Deezer Powell, get the foot down. I guess he did. New Orleans scores.
I want to see a closer look on this one, but from the initial point of view, it looked like he was able to drag that foot there through the back of the end zone. This is a great route. The ball's played nice and high in the air, where only he can go get it, but I'm surprised we don't have red laundry on the field yet.
Interesting play. It's going to stand at the back of the end zone. I'll be honest, Gus, he looked well out to me. That first foot.
No review. Questionable call there. Let's go to Indy, where Sioux Falls is in the red zone.
Instead, it's a run to Hart the other way, and Colin Hart chewing up yards.
There's your recognition by Sioux Falls that they're going to have more hats on the right side of the formation.
As he gets up to 185 with that pickup of 9 there.
Because of that misalignment by Indy in the defensive set. So 2nd and 1 in the red zone.
Here's 3 tight ends, standard pro set. And the throw. He was looking toward Portis, but he goes back the other way to J.J. McKee, who holds on despite the wicked hit from 8 for the first down.
Was this close enough to make a field goal if they stall?
Dwayne, last I saw for Robert
Oh,
Redford, he
I'm
was
sorry.
over 200, about 203.
Field goal
It's now the end of the third quarter, though. I haven't seen an update
Indeed.
recently.
Any scoring cuts it to a
Baltimore
one-score game.
is in the red zone. They're down on the 3-yard line.
Indeed.
We'll join them
Right
next.
As Colin Hart takes it
There
right
you go.
side.
There you go.
He broke the plane. Touchdown, Sioux Falls.
So Sioux Falls is back in it. Baltimore trying to get back in it. Let's go to Buffalo.
It was quite marvelous, but as you said, first and goal for Baltimore, and they are knocking on the door here.
Back to the eye, drops back, going to go to Gaines again out of the backfield. Makes a nice catch. Comes close to the end zone, but stopped by Achilles Frank at the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Quickly to Florida.
Play back.
Let's get a
King looking to
rewind on
pass
this.
third down, firing deep over the middle, and he has Simons. He could go 10-5 touchdown. Wildcats are on the board.
The scoreless streak has been snapped in Tallahassee. Chicago on the board first.
Right-hand side, and he is going to get nowhere. Dropped a
Back to
yard
Baltimore.
deep in
They
the
face a
backfield
3rd
by
and goal
Avery
at the
King.
4.
And that's what Avery King does best. He's really good at run coverage. And I think what he excels at is his acceleration towards the ball carrier. And you saw it there as he wrapped him up in the backfield for no gain. And this is going to be a big 3rd down for Queen City.
Going to go single back.
We want to get you to Vegas. They just scored another touchdown. It's not Redford, though.
Looking to throw. Dazzo into the end zone. Incomplete. Knocked down in the back
So
of the
that's
end
knocked
zone
away.
by
All you
Robbins.
need to know is Tom Rahman
force
threw a
a fourth
touchdown
down.
pass. Who he threw it to, not much important, but Las Vegas, 44-6 over Tulsa. The Fury hoping they can do enough tonight to get in the playoffs.
In terms of the amount of losses they've had.
London
so
down
far
9.
great
They are
against,
punting with
in
4
my
minutes to
opinion,
go in the
the
3rd.
1 or 2 best team in the league currently. And if they continue this play in the second half, they're going to put themselves in good position to get that wild card spot with a little bit of help.
The snap is high but pulled down. The extra point is good. 4:10 left in this first half, and Baltimore puts another field goal up. Brings the score to 24-9. Some other scores from around the SFL right now. Indianapolis 24, Sioux Falls 20 in the 4th quarter. Las Vegas 38, Tulsa 6 in the 3rd quarter. New Orleans 22, London 14 in the 3rd quarter. Denver and Vancouver are at the half. Denver 17, Vancouver 14. And Chicago is up 6-0 over Tallahassee in the 2nd quarter. Kick return comes out to the 21-yard line. 1st down and 10, Queen City. I thought he fumbled that kickoff there for a second.
It did
Met
kinda
Rich
look like it
Pratchard
was,
for
coming
dinner
out a
Friday
little
night.
bit.
He was in
Good
town
concentration by him
near
to
SFL
secure the
headquarters.
ball.
Great
That
guy.
would've been
And
a costly turnover if he had
we should
fumbled
see
it
him
away.
in Atlanta for those of you that are heading to Atlanta this July. Call live games right in front of
Ranger
everybody
Caswell
is a lot of
in
fun.
The shotgun, 3 wide. And he's just going to keep it and go straight up the middle. He's going to gain 2, 2nd down and 8.
So right
We
now,
do-
if you're
we do
keeping
have
track at home,
athletic
Queen
quarterbacks
City
in this
and Las
league who are
Vegas are
capable of
both
running. You
winning.
just don't see it very often
Chicago
from
is
most of the
also
SFL
winning.
teams, but Queen
London
City,
trailing at
they
the moment
love the
with 3:40 to
quarterback
go in the
draw,
3rd.
especially with AJ Caswell, who's a great runner.
If
with
things
the ball,
hold as they
and
are,
only picked up 2 yards
it's
there, but
about
they
to get
may go
real
back to that,
muddy at
again.
the bottom of the standings.
So 3 wide in the shotgun again. Caswell with Ash Odom to his right. Looking to throw, goes left. It's complete. Falling out of bounds, but keeps his feet in bounds is Stephen Hacker. Brings up a 3rd and 4.
Rich, you think there's anything Stephen Hacker can't do? Because they're hitting him on the outside, over the middle, down the field. He's putting juke moves on. He's using his speed. I mean, this guy is just a fantastic rookie.
Yeah, I mean, tonight he's done anything he wanted to do tonight. I don't know, and I'll have to look. I don't know that he's dropped a pass. Sitting in the pocket, plenty of time. He's going to keep it. Caswell right up the middle, and he slides down at the 37. But that's enough for a 1st down. Great play by Caswell.
And there's nothing more heartbreaking for a defensive coordinator to have every receiver just tightly covered, and then to watch the quarterback run right up the middle free and pick up a 1st down. It's devastating.
Yeah, I was just saying, Hacker has not dropped a pass or missed a pass tonight. He has 9 targets, 9 receptions for 239 yards. Caswell drops back the pass, goes to the right. That one's complete, and it'll be out to the 45. J.K. Johnson on the catch. 2nd and 2.
So far, a good drive by Queen City. They're taking up enough time. They're moving the ball well. They're mixing it up with the play calling. And we'll see how they can capitalize here and if they can actually take this clock down to halftime.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning, 2:29 left on this clock. Caswell to throw, goes deep downfield. He's got his man. Guess who it is? Stephen Hacker. 10-5, touchdown, Queen City. Stephen Hacker's got a reason to dance.
Stephen Hacker has 294 receiving yards in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. The all-time record is DR Sim way back in Season 6, 377 yards. That record has stood for 3 years. Hacker is on pace to obliterate it.
That's 294 receiving yards.
Let's go to New Orleans and check back in with the Knights and Pharaohs playing in a critical game.
Yeah, I mean, they really have to get their heads in this one now because they're down by 2 scores coming up here on the end of the 3rd quarter. If they don't start chipping away at this lead now and keeping their defense firing on all cylinders, the game's going to be over before they know it, and they don't make the playoffs. And they don't want that to happen. They've got a goal to be there this year.
2-possession game here. They'll flip it out to Streeter, who picks up just a yard down at the 20.
Colin Hart just got a big gain. Sioux Falls has the ball back, down 3. They are on their own 39 right now, with about 6 minutes to go in that one.
Look at Roby's numbers, 92 yards, the 1 pick, but also has the 1 touchdown to combat it. And he'll face this 2nd and 9, and will look to throw. Floats one, middle. Oh, wide open! Down the seam, will he get there? James Hands, 15, 10, 5, he will! Touchdown, London! You talked about chipping away at the lead. How's that for a chip?
I think chip is the wrong word there. I think that's more of a chunk out of the lead. James Hands, in one move, nearly doubling Robbie's passing yards for the night, getting the 2nd touchdown of the game for him, and I mean, just what a run after this catch. Deftly maneuvering to take the right angles to keep all the defenders.
Tulsa just threw an interception at the goal line.
That is exactly
their problems get worse tonight.
Play that London needs. And
Las Vegas is going to win that game. I don't think there's any doubt about that at this point. That means that anybody that has beaten Las Vegas this season gets a bump in their strength of schedule, or I'm sorry, in their strength of victory ratings, which will update live as soon as that game goes final.
Rating up to 112, a little bit of a low snap, but the extra point is good, and I was going to go the opposite way. I think it's safer to go with.
What is Vegas doing?
Goal line. He's got a burst of speed down the sideline. Can Keslep catch him? He dives and he can't get there. Unbelievable, 97 yards. It's a 6-pack of touchdowns for Robert Redford on the night. Over 300 yards rushing. What a game.
Santa Maria, I just want you to understand, look at this man's speed. This is a corner he's beating. This is a running back against a quarter. Look at this. Yoink! See ya. Have a nice day. I'm going to have 6 touchdowns on the day. You're going to have all the turf in your mouth. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
That's what they're doing. Goodness gracious, Robert Redford. Let's go to Tallahassee. We haven't gotten to spend much time there. This game means everything. Tallahassee's in the playoffs, but fighting for positioning. Chicago, nothing
on the field
is secure.
On that one. So he gains first down yardage, but it won't matter. Although they'll probably decline.
Sioux Falls just threw another interception. Indy still has the lead with 4.5 to go.
So that's great news for Chicago. Now they're way out of danger. And again, now they can just take their time, dink and dunk, run Willis. And, the deep shot opens up like last time. Tallahassee blows the coverage and, take it. But don't take a sack. Don't go backwards. That's the main thing for Chicago.
Willis taking the handoff, running up the middle and dragging a couple of defenders with him up to the 29-yard line after a gain of 6.
There you saw it right there. Willis got to the second level, and one of those unheralded linebackers ran into him, and Willis dragged him for about 3 yards. That's the kind of runs I want to see, those 6-yard runs. Just punch him right up the gut. Keep punching him in the face. And then, well, I guess not. Then go shotgun.
And Matt is denied.
See if they got an out route again at the top.
King in the gun. They do indeed have an out route at the top, but they're going to take the underneath route as that one is checked down to Willis. He breaks his way through to the
big pass from the Vultures. Daley Holder is in
That's a better call.
the red zone, and the Vultures need a touchdown badly. They are down 31-9 in an unusual spanking.
Baltimore at the 11-yard line has a chance to
T-Pat doesn't take too many of those. Plenty of game left.
So 40 seconds left in the half. Ball sitting at the 11-yard line. First down and 10. Baltimore in the red zone. Power I. Drops back. Going to go to Gaines on the right-hand side. And he is met at the line of scrimmage by Nacho Sicario.
This game is still in the first half.
10. And the Vultures rush back to the line. Dazzler going to get to Gaines again. He gets a block. And Sicario comes up and makes the tackle again. Gain of 4, 3rd and 6, and Baltimore takes their second timeout.
Tallahassee just got an interception.
And if you're
down 7-0 at home.
Are you going to go back to that halfback screen 7 yards
Appreciate
away?
your subscription,
just doing a
Marcus
great
Dunhill.
Job of coming up and tackling the ball carrier? Or are you going to try to find Bishop Warfield or Daley
Good luck
Holder
tomorrow
somewhere
night.
over the middle?
Yeah, I think you got to take a shot here to Warfield or Holder. Drops back, sitting in the pocket, plenty of time, goes into the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Touchdown, Baltimore, and it is Daley Holder on the catch.
What a way to end a drive. A Dazo to Daley Holder connection, and a great job bringing that one in by Daley Holder. Having to go up there and take the hit, but Baltimore finally getting on the board with a touchdown with just a few seconds left here in the first half.
Let's check in on a very close game now after that London touchdown. But New Orleans is threatening.
But Malinishin, along with Nathan Blake, will bring him down after a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 yards on first down. That's the magic number right there, because, you know, that makes it so you can call just about whatever you want to on second down. You know, come out, run a screen, do some play action, maybe a draw play, or, you know, run an empty backfield and just bomb it deep.
That looks like what they're going to do. 4 wide. They'll flip the out route here. That is caught for a first down, turning upfield, and I believe it was Mikey Bischoff again. We're going to have to check, and yes, it was.
And this is a clever bit of play calling here. You know, you come out with that empty backfield and make it seem like you're going to run it deep, and then you've got one of your wide receivers just running a simple out route. Because all of the safeties and corners are getting pulled back into deep.
2-minute warning in Indianapolis. 24-21. Spitfire lead.
3 wide here from the
But
11.
Sioux Falls
Gold, short drop.
is near the red zone.
It doesn't matter. He fires a touchdown throw to Matt Wolf.
Yeah, this is a great throw right there, because if he puts that further up into the air, there's an opportunity for a defender to go out and put a hand on that ball, knock it down out of the way. By playing it low,
Denver just kicked the field goal. They're up 6. New Orleans answers London's touchdown with one of their own. We go to the game that's closest to being final.
Welcome to the ball game, young man.
Sioux Falls and Indy.
Glad you could join us sooner rather than later.
Ray Lynn makes them pay, and I'll make the...
Use the link posted in chat, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Clip a more wholesome clean. Meanwhile, back on the field, pass intended for Miles Portis was knocked away by Steve Vitak.
That was close to a pick 6.
2-minute warning in Tallahassee. The Pride still have 0. Dwayne asking about the rushing touchdowns record. I believe it's in Hall of Honors, but I'm pretty sure that 7 is the record from Ashley Anderson, but not positive.
We'll give me that score in just a minute. 3rd and 11. Tyree set to throw to the end zone. It's intercepted for a 5th time.
Wow.
Skying in the air to go for it is Peyton Ellison. His 2nd pick. Pass intended for Ray
Wow.
Lynn.
Absolutely at the limit of his height and actually leans backwards a little bit to pick that one up.
How about Indy? Looks like they're going to seal
Parade of
this one.
Timeouts by Sioux Falls will begin here momentarily.
This is time to run the ball. For Indy, they got to run it now. But
Let's go to Tallahassee, the Pride. Have their best opportunity to score of the night. They're at the Chicago 11-yard line.
Covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link that's scrolling across the bottom of your screen throughout the game, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Equip a more wholesome team. Francis fighting his way for only 2, but a hard-fought 2 indeed. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
And, I would like them to run the ball once again. 3rd and 2, no need to take any big risks. Run some more clock so Chicago can't make a big play. And because if it's an incompletion, that's the best case scenario for the Wildcats.
Christensen under center, hands it off to Francis, running up the middle, and does he make it? He does. He gets the 1st down yardage. I wasn't sure if he got there, but it is 1st down and goal from the 5-yard line, and here we go. Christensen hands it off to Francis again, runs in untouched for a Tallahassee touchdown, and it took him 2 quarters, but they're now on the board.
Put it on the board.
All right, Troello.
I'm just call me Mini Michael. Actually, yeah.
Oh,
So Tallahassee scores. Get this.
Ground,
Indianapolis,
and it worked out.
again,
Yeah, exactly.
cannot put Sioux Falls away. Sioux Falls going to end up getting one last shot
And now they're going
at
to
tying
give
or winning this game.
Sioux Falls
Indy been
pretty good
leading the
field
entire
position,
2nd half,
and they'll have a timeout in their back pocket.
but threw a screen
And
out of
the punt
bounds
is away.
that saved the
Nearly
timeout
blocked.
for the Sparrows.
Levy spinning. We'll get to the 47. The clock stops exactly with a minute left.
Levy always dangerous and well covered there by Spitfires, but you can't hide the
London
fact
is
that
back
ball's
in
at
the red zone. There's been 3
Indy
straight
47.
touchdowns in that game, and the Knights are threatening now at the New Orleans
1 minute
12.
left, 1 timeout left, down by 3 points. Field goal can tie the game and potentially force overtime, or a touchdown can win the game for you.
only about 20, 25 yards away from a field goal.
And this pass is complete, out of bounds to A.J. Warren, but they picked up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd 2 as the ball goes to the Indy 40. Oh, we got a Harry's close call, close save challenge at a critical time of the game. Let's take a look. As the booth says we want to take a second look at that.
I want to make sure they get this right.
Jason McGee, Alan Amides.
Uh-oh.
I think he's out of bounds.
Uh-oh. That's your SpaghettiOs play. And here's the call.
And he was called out of bounds. So the ruling on the field was overturned.
Easiest call the Booths had to make in a long time as both feet were out of bounds.
From shave sets to shave handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship. Made in Germany, we make Harry's from products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they can perform
On
as well as
4th
they
down
possibly
and
can.
1 for London, New Orleans just
Say
jumped
more
off
after this
sides.
play.
Fresh set of
Colin
downs.
Hart weaving his way all the way down the sideline to the 27, knocked out of bounds with 48 seconds left.
Somehow sneaks his way around and down the sideline, and they are in business.
As he does Swearingen one better. Back to Harry's. Use the promo code SimulationFL at purchasefromharrys.com, and a portion of your proceeds supports the SFL Harry's, the official race of the SFL.
And I was going to say, it looked like he may have stepped out of bounds.
Let's take a look. It's a close save, close call challenge presented by Harry's. And this is an equally critical one. especially for Jason McGee.
Oh,
and
he's
they
out.
said-
He might even be short of the first down.
Oh, my. And they said he stepped out of bounds. So the booth that
see
they're
where
not
they-
calling down all game long.
Well, one of the sort of subplots here is who's that line judge that missed both the clearly out of bounds catch that was ruled in bounds and that.
It's a 3rd and inches play. Clock stopped at 48 seconds of Tyree over the middle. Ball in the air. Intercepted. Oh, it was intercepted off the hands of 2 Sparrow defenders. And Steve Vitek says, I got the ball.
Vitek is going to seal the deal for
As
Indy.
it came off of Portis's hand.
Wow, so
Well, the Sioux
back-to-back
Falls faithful are gonna be
reviews
talking
go
about
against
that
the
one,
Sparrows,
for a
and then
while
trying to
into the
convert a
offseason.
3rd down.
Because they've got Colin
Tyree
Hart,
throws
that
his
was 3rd and
6th
inches.
pick of the night, and kneel
And
downs
they're
for
gonna take a
Indy.
kneel
They
down.
look to, or appear to be,
So,
pulling the upset.
this was
While
all
we were
but
away,
academic, and
because we didn't
New
want to miss
Orleans
the end of that
beating
game.
London.
London and New Orleans.
An electric run from Aaron.
London scored
6 and Chicago
in the red
now
zone.
has
We'll
them
show them,
deadlocked
or
at
we'll show
7.
you that series
Yep, and very safe tackle there from the free safety Captain
before
Jones.
we
That's
join
only
that
his second
game
tackle of the night.
live
He's been
in
pretty quiet,
progress.
Running more towards the strong side with Streeter, and he's gotten good help from his cornerbacks shutting those things on the outside down. So a quiet night for Kappa Jones, but
We'll have the consequences of a potential Sioux Falls loss
Was patient on
coming
the
up in a
outside,
moment.
picks up a couple
You
to
can
make
only
a very
get
manageable
it
3rd
right
and
here
1
on Blitz
from the
Live.
Yep, and this is a good situation
Live analysis
for
all night
London
long
to
as
be
games
in.
roll
Third
in
and one,
and
you
become
come out with the
final.
ball, or you can try a very simple, 2-yard out route. Don't risk an interception with an errant throw, and a field goal is okay here because that still cuts it down to where a touchdown the next drive to get them the lead.
Oh, Streeter, bad play. New Orleans read that very well and pursued quickly, and he is dropped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 1 from the 9.
Yep, very well read by the safety Tank Bennett, coming up there, getting into the backfield and just causing havoc and really.
That's a
ruining
final.
the
Las
play.
Vegas has beaten Tulsa
They're gonna go
52 to
for it on
13.
4th and 1. I'm not sure I
And
like this call.
Indianapolis
Oh, wow.
stuns Sioux Falls 24-21.
MeUndies laundry on the field. Streeter trying to get to the corner, does pick up the first down. So either way, unless it's a penalty on London, they will get the first down. Let's see what we got.
Neutral zone infraction. I saw the jump right before the snap. So they get the free play on their 4th down attempt, and it doesn't even matter because Reggie Streeter has put this offense on his back and brought them right back into this game here in the 4th quarter.
And I was going to say, before they even lined up, I thought they should go here because with 6:54, I mean, you're not guaranteed to get too many more opportunities with the ball, and this does take some pressure off. If you can get the touchdown here, you have less pressure later as long as your defense can get a stop, because getting into field goal range is a lot different than trying to get in the end zone. And Streeter's in! Barely got over the line, but Reggie Streeter made it happen, and it's a touchdown for the Knights. They cut back into the lead.
So that was what happened earlier. London down by 2, 4:50 to go. Your strength of victory and updated standings are there at the bottom. You can see that Sioux Falls has now fallen into a wild card spot in the 7th spot. Las Vegas is a half game back of Tallahassee, London, and Chicago at 6 and 5. We also have some updated strength of victory numbers for you. With that victory, Denver's strength of victory has jumped up from 400 to 412, one of the biggest. And then Las Vegas, who started the night at a 464 win percentage, has slipped to 457. You can see the last 4 win percentages, even Sioux Falls in there at 468. All very close, but still a lot of results to get to throughout the evening. Again, the big storyline so far, Sioux Falls has slipped into a wild card spot.
What an incredible.
And forgive me, Andy Hamilton, let's roll that back.
For their defense. Yep, smart of the strong safety there to let that.
That looked like an incredible play by Rob Roby as London's got the ball,
Another fumble there.
trying to take the lead.
Your deep offense, that 80-yard field to go out and work, and now we've talked.
Caught by Streeter! How in the world?
What an incredibly athletic throw from Rob Roby right there. At first it looked like he was going to take the sack. Then it looks like he's going to run the ball, and he's like, you know what? I don't want to get hit by one of these big defenders. Let me magic the ball through the air over to Reggie Streeter and let him go out and hit somebody. And hit them he did.
Talk about becoming a star. Rob Roby may have just became a sensation. We'll see what the chat has to say about
Stephen
that.
Hacker touchdown.
I don't know if I believe what I just saw. That's not Stephen Hacker's 4th touchdown of the game, as he is now only 36 yards away from breaking the all-time record. That is something these fans definitely want to see, and Stephen Hacker, off the arm of A.J. Caswell, is just absolutely running over Baltimore here in Week 13. And if they get the help that they need, which we can go over those playoff scenarios after this field goal, then we could see Queen City in the playoffs after most thought they were dead in the water.
So Ricky Matthews in for the extra point. And the kick is up and good. So with 6:27 left in the third quarter, Queen City goes up 38.
Wow, Queen City, Stephen Hacker, 4 touchdowns. The Corsairs lead by 22 points. All right, let's get you caught up on some things. Denver and Vancouver.
Baltimore's locked in. Baltimore's going to the playoffs. Queen City
Nightwings
needs to win this game.
Scored a touchdown. Avon Sanchez just ripped off a monster run. So Vancouver is threatening.
And here's what we've got going on
and
right now.
Let's go to Vancouver
in the fourth quarter
next.
And Chicago and Tallahassee.
You got another movement block right there by number 32. And then that just sprung Sanchez. It's like, oh, you going to send me to the Shadow Realm? Well, I can do you one better. I can help my team get into scoring range.
Welcome those of you who came from the Tulsa, Las Vegas, and Sioux Falls, Indianapolis games. We have 4 games still left going on Blitz Live. Your live strength of victory and standings are at the bottom of the screen.
Off Sanchez going to try for some more. He'll get a yard. To the 28 he goes.
And not a bad average, 5.6 yards per carry and 62 yards rushing so far. And this game's not over yet. We could have a chance with one running back. Wait a minute, let me stop what I was saying there. Number 36 was almost got called. They're talking trash. He could have got his team 5 yards there.
That's going to be deep left side. It's caught at the 9-yard line. They'll call it the 8. What a grab. Brett Killian again.
We've got Vancouver in the red zone, and we also have London in the red zone. Back to New Orleans. 2-minute warning between the Pharaohs and the Knights.
I mean, if anybody's feeling the pressure right now, it's London. If they can't find some points here, they probably will not be in the playoffs. But if they can get down into field goal range, their hopes are still alive.
Actually, let's go back to Denver.
Looking to throw his Pepper. Right side of the end zone. Open. Caught. Touchdown. Vancouver has it within a score.
And guess who? Is Chris Braun once again making a great play, this time for 6. I know Chris Braun loves Halloween. He's basically being a very scary person for the Denver secondary. Look at this toe drag class. Yeah, he just completely forgot about him. You can't do that. I told you guys, both Vega and Braun is going to be the wild card in today's game, and they both have proven me right so far.
That's a big, big possession from Vancouver. They're able to, once the scoreboard updates, 27-7 or 27-24 is what it should be.
All right, let's go back to New Orleans. London's in the red zone. Rob Roby just shot a wide open James hands a ball way over his head.
Complete the pass.
But a safe throw nonetheless, putting it high and out the back.
Chicago Tallahassee still tied at 7 in the third quarter.
There's no defenders there to catch that ball.
Queen City all over Baltimore in the biggest stunner of the night. This is huge. 3rd down for London.
Which is a huge concern for them.
All right, very important down. 3rd and 9. Roby to throw, moves, throws a wobbler. It's caught, and no, he's not going to get the first down. He'll get to the 5. Good catch from Ken Maccaro, but unable to find the sticks. Good coverage from Aaron.
Big tackle there.
You know, I know London came out and ran a 4th down conversion play in a similar situation on the last drive. I hope
monitoring 3 very close games right now.
Doing that again.
A 3-point, 2-point, and tied game here on the Blitz.
From the 5-yard line, this kick will be about a 20, give or take a 21, 22-yarder. Kick is up, and it is good from 22. London will take the lead 31-30 with 96 ticks left on the clock.
This is a manageable situation for New Orleans.
We're going to keep it here through the duration of this game. We don't want to miss this. London is currently in the 9th spot. New Orleans is currently in the 6th position. This game means everything.
Logan Jack to as few yards as physically possible. Otherwise, you're going to have problems.
Indeed, Jack has really been the workhorse for New Orleans, accounting for over 260 yards of offense on 42 touches.
HWJ 15-12. Does Tallahassee get out of the wild card if London wins?
For Matt Wolf and
that's a good question. I would say just
really, if you
briefly,
Jack,
I believe, yes, Tallahassee would get out of the wild card.
Wide. Gold will fly one to the back of the... Oh, nearly taken away right there. Jeff Malinishin tried
if
to
the Pride win, Sparrows lose, which happened tonight, and the Pharaohs lose, then Tallahassee will be your 6th seed. That is the direct answer to your question.
You know, these things happen.
I had to look it up briefly just for a moment.
And we'll see what New Orleans dials up on a 2nd and 10.
4 receivers wide, 3 to the bottom of the screen, 1 to the top. Xander Gold has Logan Jack flanking him in the shotgun. London will rush 4. Gold wants the deep ball on the right side, and he's got Deezer Powell down to the 38.
What a throw and catch there from Xander Gold to Deezer Powell. Just when you think
Baltimore just got a field goal. That's not doing much for him. 38-19 in Buffalo.
Powell back involved in the game. Only his 6th catch of the night. He's getting 10 per reception, though.
2 wide I formation. Jack in the backfield. They'll feed him. Logan Jack and Slim Shady brings him down at the 36. Time will roll here. Gold surveys the defense with 50 seconds left. Gold to throw. Flips it out to Jack. Jack is clobbered at the 34. They're going to mark him out. I don't know about that. He looked inbounds to me.
I'm okay with the out call there. He's fallen towards the outside. That ball could have crossed the line, and we don't have a great view from that up angle. I'm going to trust the line.
Chicago is now in the red zone. Points have been few and far between in Tallahassee. 7-7 with 4:10 to go. We'll try to join them.
4 wide here.
We want to see the finish.
6. This could be your ball game. Gold looking to throw. Fires out route. That is caught by Matt. No, out of bounds by Matt Wolf. And another questionable call here in crunch time. We'll see. We haven't seen a Harry's close shave, close call challenge tonight, but this is a good opportunity.
And I mean, you know, there's going to be no punt here. You can't afford that if you're New Orleans. You have to try to convert this. So it's not over for the London defense yet. They're all still... Oh, they're going to try for a field goal from this range.
From here, it would be a 50-yard field goal from the 42. Zen Lee is on. 5'11", 178 pounds, has been perfect tonight. 40 seconds on the clock. Kick is up, and it is good. He got it from 51, punched it through, and New Orleans takes the lead.
I am absolutely astonished. You do not see kickers in the SFL hitting from this distance on a regular basis. And that one just barely squeaks its way past the bar. If he were half a yard further back, that's a miss.
What a kick. Zen Lee. New Orleans is ahead. 4:45 to go. Vancouver has the ball back. They trail Denver by just 3. The Nightwings are trying to lock up the #1 overall seed.
On the return is cut down at the 26. So they will just need to get into field goal range here, Gus.
And we have no chance.
Tallahassee just deflected an in-zone pass attempt for Chicago. They'll have to kick a field goal.
Either win or lose on the strength of this drive right now. And they've got a second-year quarterback and a rookie running back to try and orchestrate that.
Rob Roby in the shotgun, throwing 77% tonight for over 200 yards. He fires short here. That's a completion. Oh, was one move away. James Hands was maybe one juke away from a touchdown.
Yep, and James Hands had that 72-yarder early in the game that makes up about 7/8 of his yards so far.
Chicago hits the field goal. Wildcats have the lead. 10-7. A win puts Chicago in the playoffs.
You know, take it, you know, take this.
A win puts London in the playoffs.
5 wide for Roby in the gun. 3 to the bottom of the screen, 2 to the top. New Orleans is going to bring 4. Roby stands, delivers off the right side, and it is, no, incomplete, out of bounds. He was looking for Ken McCarroll.
And I'm surprised with all of these so close out of bounds.
Vancouver is
there it is.
on Denver's side of the field now.
Booth is going to review this one, so it is not a Harry.
3:15 to go in that game.
Close call, but it's not technically a challenge. Very tricky stuff here as we get into our ad reads. I don't know. McCarroll looked like he might have had it. Ooh, it's that toe.
Yep, that looks like a toe tap to me. Here in the SFL, it is only a 1 foot.
The pass was incomplete.
No, they're going to say he was out. They're going to stick with the call on the field, and I don't know. It was too close for me to call. I probably would have stuck with the play on the
Lots
field.
of tough calls being made in this New Orleans-London game. We've seen about 5 here on the Blitz.
Kind of tend to agree with Ref 62 there. I know I am the king of out-of-bounds, inbounds, so everyone probably is listening to me on this one. I'm going to agree with the call on the field. 2nd and 10. Roby fires middle of the field, caught. Nice first down there to Donnie Hands. They waste no time. Another timeout.
Yep, the timeout is the right call. Don't play around.
Again, if London wins, they're in the playoffs. If London loses,
and then you can set up to take
they really need Baltimore to hurry up and do something. It's 38-19. The Vultures are punting again.
One of their wide receivers or
they need Chicago to lose. That's not happening either.
Reggie Streeter.
Las Vegas has defeated Tulsa. Indianapolis defeated Sioux Falls, making the playoff picture cloudy. London is trying to...
2-minute warning in Vancouver. The Legion are still driving. They're at the Nightwing, 29 down 3.
Rob Roby. He wants the deep ball. Oh, diving catch made! 1st and 10 at the 23. Are you kidding me? Donnie Hands.
What an incredible throw and catch. And there it is. They will spike this. Surely they are running their field goal unit out. What a drive by London. They have a chance to make their first playoff bid with a completed field goal and a safe kickoff at the end.
Rob Roby coming over from San Francisco in the offseason. London was not the best team coming out of last season, but this season they will put all of this on the foot of Nate Odell, trying to push their way into the playoff picture. From the 23, it'll be about a 39, 40-yard kick. It's off the foot of Odell, and it is no good! He missed! He missed the kick!
Oh, no! Heartbreak across London as this one is pushed just wide to the right, and with one swing of the leg, their playoff hopes for season 3 as a franchise are dead.
Wow.
New Orleans gonna come out in the victory formation. They have secured a top.
New Orleans improves to 8-4. Now,
handoff right side. Sanchez has some room between the tackles. Got some room to run. 10. Oh, he gets to the 5. He gets taken down there. What a play from Ivan Sanchez.
Vancouver inside 2 minutes. Sanchez just got him inside the 10.
But Ivan Sanchez be able to get 100 yards rushing, and it's very important now. They're in scoring range. If they get 6, this is going to be a incredible finish to today's game.
90 seconds left in this football game. Pepper looks to throw. Looks, throws. End zone, drop pass.
No!
Oh, he couldn't grab it. Oh, man, the tight end couldn't do it. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Use the promo link in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Give the gift of comfort with
It's a
100%
final. New
satisfaction
Orleans
guarantee. Free
defeats
shipping and
London
returns. Signature soft and
33-31.
stretchy.
The Knights' playoff chances
27,
are now
24.
in doubt.
That was
New
nearly
Orleans
death
is
for the
secured
Nightwings,
in
who
a top
trying
6
to
while the
hold on.
updated standings after Vancouver and Denver conclude.
Single back formation. Sanchez in the backfield from the 5-yard line. Handoff. Sanchez gets stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Now it's very important for Denver to come away with, with Vancouver to come away with 6. But look
If you're
at
just
that
joining
clock.
us, we will have
man.
live reaction. You
It's
can
close
call
to
in
the end of the game
to
here.
the Blitz
This is very,
after
very
it's
tight.
all said and done. And we explain to you what all has gone down and
3rd and goal.
what's
That's
left.
a free play. Play action may not matter. Left side, nobody in the area. It doesn't matter. That's a penalty on the Nightwings. Half the distance to the goal.
That's the
coming,
second
put it at the
offside of this
2.5.
drive for Denver.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 90, defense. Now for
Okay.
It's not a first down, though.
It is not. That is true. They do repeat the second down if I'm not, or repeat the third down if I'm not mistaken. So there's 2 tries here. 1, maybe 2 if they decide not to kick the field goal.
And if
But they have-
if Vancouver scores, that dude whose name is Attack will be under attack by Jeremy Baker for being offsides on that play.
55 seconds to go. It's 3rd and goal. Sanchez is the backfield. Pepper to throw. Looks, gets it. Corner, end zone, touchdown Vancouver. They did it. Vancouver comes all the way back and takes the lead in the late going against the Nightwings, who might have to watch results to see where they land.
What a play by the wild card of the Vancouver Legion, Chris Braun. What a catch. And
Oh, man.
So Chris
was
Braun,
amazing.
with his 3rd touchdown of the
An
night, puts
intense moment
Vancouver
here
on
in
top of
Canada
Denver.
Field.
Queen
Ashley
City has
Finn's gonna
scored a
try to add
touchdown.
on the
They are
insurance point to make
ripping
sure the
Baltimore
Nightwings have to get a touchdown
45 to
extend this
19.
game, or to win this
It's
game.
still 10-7 in Tallahassee
Because
in
a
favor
huge
of the
extra
Wildcats now in the 4th quarter.
Snaps good, hold good, kick up and on the way. It is up and through. 31-27, Vancouver over Denver. Denver needs a mile-high miracle to lock up the 1 seed at this point. Still 50
Let's go to Tallahassee.
Keep in mind, Denver.
Oh, the man you highlighted at the beginning of the game makes an excellent play.
The Pride are in the red zone.
Barring a weird Rep 62 call, and no, it is a touchdown for the Pride.
Barring a weird Ref 62 call. You never know with him, Matt. That could have been
No. Offensive pass interference. We don't know.
offensive
But, wow.
offsides.
What a pretty
Christensen
throw
just
there
found the hole again.
from
Was
Christensen to Ken Gossett.
zone,
Tallahassee
no one was
takes
around, so
a
he took
13
advantage
to
of that
10,
flag.
probably
Why not
14 to
chuck it
10
into the
lead.
end zone,
Let's
take
go
a shot?
back to Vancouver, where the Legion are trying to pull a huge
It'll be a
upset.
great way to send themselves in the playoffs if they able to march down the
Denver
field and get
clinches the
winning
number
touchdown
1
here. We'll see what happens.
spot with a win.
In the gun.
With a
5
loss,
wide.
it gets muddy.
Still all 3 timeouts as mentioned. Clock moves. Looks to throw. Left side, trying to get out of bounds. He is going to get there. That's a 6-yard completion and a good one, as I believe that was Giacomo Jones, his first catch in a little while.
And good job making sure that he got out of bounds, help preserve some clock and preserve the timeouts. Under 2 minutes, the clock will stop when you go out of bounds, unlike beforehand. So we'll see what Denver does here.
Three at the top, 1 at the bottom. Miller, play action over the middle, tries to get it to his running back. That didn't work. Big play, and that is going to keep it to a 3rd and 4. It was not his running back, my fault. It was Ha, as that is going to be 3rd and a little bit, still 3rd and very manageable at this point.
But Vancouver's like, ha ha, for Ha not making that catch. If they can stop them here, this will be a great upset. We'll see if Denver's defense can step it up.
Smithers, get me your best receiver. Under center. Miller. Handoff instead. Interesting play call, and it does not work out. Denver calls a timeout. It's 4th and
Denver's
4.
on the ropes.
All right, here we
What
go.
are they doing?
Very
Running.
important play right
40
here. If
seconds to
Vancouver
go.
stops them, they will pull off the upset because today was essentially their bowl game, their championship game. And they played like it today.
They did. They did indeed. They have a chance to close this thing out. They'd love to close out this season with a win on Canada turf. 5 wide. Everybody out for a pass. Josh Miller in the gun by himself. And everyone -3 in coverage. Right side. Caught! Oh, he got it to the 37-yard line, to the 38. Oh, man, there's 31 ticks left. Denver calls their second timeout, and they are still in business here.
This is one of them plays where you know what they're going to do, but it didn't matter. Great dot by Josh Miller to Logan
Nightwings
Keel.
aren't letting this one go easy.
Yeah, they on Vancouver's side of the field, but they need touchdown. They need 6 points. A field goal won't do it for them.
But assuming that Baltimore loses, they are getting blown out by Queen City tonight in a shocker. Assuming Baltimore loses, Denver can only fall as far as 3
They got to get to the
in a
out-of-bounds
loss.
marker. Play action, thrown to the sideline, caught. That's an 8-yard completion. What a catch by Logan Keel to stop the clock with 27 ticks left, still able to preserve their timeout.
And one thing about Logan Keel, I know he's been happy today. He had 2 straight games with just 1 reception. He has more than that, and he's been a major factor so far in this drive. Here we go.
3 in the backfield. Are they really thinking run here?
Looks like it.
It looks like it, and it will be. Left side, McChesney has the first down, but they have to run no huddle. 26 left. This is going to be a major play. They may try to spike this and try to preserve the timeout. Nope, they'll try to run it again. McChesney to the outside, got to cut the edge. Got to get to the outside of the sideline. They won't do it, and they call their last timeout. 10 seconds left, at least from here.
Wow.
They can try for the end zone. 18 from the 18-yard line in Vancouver territory.
And in fact, these next 3 plays will have to go to the end zone. It cannot be anything short, because if it is, it's game over.
2nd and 3. 18 yards separating Denver from a 1 seed in the playoffs. Split backs formation for Miller. Steps back, looks to throw, plenty of time. Right side, floats it, 10! Oh, we got stopped!
Oh, no.
1 sec left! Oh, it's gonna end on the 1-yard line! Denver is gonna lose this game 31-27. He got stopped at the 1-yard line. My goodness, Vancouver comes up with a last-moment stop.
Another shocker of the night as the number 1 team in the league is upset, getting stopped 1 yard short, 31-27 as the rival Legion take it away from Denver.
63-38 2 weeks ago, and they did in the big way. Getting Chris Braun involved because he had 2
With the latest 2 results, what does that mean?
This game felt like a more exciting version of
for the
Rams
standings.
Titans Super Bowl from '99. It ended the
There's
same
the
way,
update.
1
Denver
yard
still in
short.
front. London
man.
is still
What a
clinging
game indeed. This
to the
game
10th spot
definitely will
as of
shape
this
the
moment
playoff situation
because
for
of their
the rest of this
head-to-head
season.
victory
Obviously,
over
we
Las
have a few
Vegas.
more games to go
New
tomorrow
Orleans
to see where
is
everyone
in
shakes
6th.
out.
They
But what a
lose
game
the common
to
games
try to seal the
tiebreaker
1 seed, but
against
not
Mexico
so much,
City,
not so
but
fast.
Baltimore
Denver will fall to 9-3,
is still
which may put them in a tiebreaker scenario. With
likely to fall to 8-4. It's 45-19. But they are in the red zone. Meanwhile, Tallahassee is at the Chicago 23. That game is closer. Let's go there now. Matt and Mike.
With under 6 minutes to go.
Wild things everywhere in the SFL.
Quite a night of action. Chicago defense desperately looking to get off of the field, hoping to hold Tallahassee to only a field goal on this one so that it's not a 2-score ball game. First down and 10 for the Pride. In no particular hurry. I think they're enjoying this lead. They know they can at least get 3 points on the board. Christensen firing towards the end zone, though. That one hauled in. Complete first down and goal by Ken Gossett from the 3-yard line.
A crucial stat. It's worth noting. If you see that Las Vegas,
that play, but let's see
in the strength of victory, with the last couple of results coming in, Las Vegas strength of victory is now better than London's by
not loving the Chicago
0.01%.
set on the goal line here. Plenty of room for Francis to run.
You'll see it scroll at the bottom here in a second.
Francis taking the handoff up the middle, and he's into the end zone again, getting his second touchdown on the night.
Chicago needed the goal line set there. I would have goal lined it. Panthers scared.
Baltimore scored a touchdown, 45-26.
Pretty sure it's a Lion.
Only
Matt,
5
the
minutes
Lions
left,
did.
though. There's your updated strength of victory numbers. Queen City is rising.
More like a black cat.
Chicago, London, now Vegas in the driver's seat of that tiebreaker at 465.
But, you know, it gets the Tallahassee fans happy, so
You're
whatever works
safe.
for them, I
You're
guess.
safe up here in the broadcast booth, Matt. Don't worry.
Oh, no, we're never safe in the broadcast.
Just so you know, it would help Las Vegas for Chicago to win. Why? Because Las Vegas lost to Tallahassee in the head-to-head. They lost to London in the head-to-head. But Vegas did not play Chicago this season, which would throw all that away.
Now, Mike, that means we're the only game in town that Blitz live.
Well,
It's
there's
close.
Still Baltimore, Queen City. There's still 6 minutes
no.
to go in that one as well.
No,
As of this moment, Tristan,
Wow.
London
Ouch.
is in over Las Vegas as of this moment, but we still have 2 results left to calculate.
Kick is away. Carter taking the ball back at his own 11-yard line. Carter returning it up the right side. Gets up to the 34-yard line. Was carrying number 90, taking him for a little ride.
If your teammates have playoff questions in your locker room right now, make sure to get them here
Chicago's got
on Blitz.
really,
We'll be covering it all
It's so tough. Every
as we
time
head
they've
into
done,
Wild Card Wednesday.
It really, most of the time hasn't worked. They've been, especially the 5. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, the 5 wide set is kind of 0 for 4. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Tallahassee playing pass defense here. Only 3 down linemen. 3 men coming. King fires down the right sideline. There he goes. He's got a men's J.C. Torres for by far his longest reception on the night, all the way up to the 27-yard line.
This time, Tallahassee didn't blitz the linebacker.
Boosted Leffy on asking, so if
King
Queen
got rid
City
of the ball
wins
on a
and
hurry. Look at
Chicago
this, nice.
loses, does that change the standings?
Post route.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'd be a 4-way tie for 6 and 6,
Gone, but that's the kind
and
of
things
big
would
play
get
Chicago
truly
needs.
crazy.
Now they need another
Chicago
2
down
to
11.
score
Queen
quick.
City is
They
winning.
have to score quick.
The Wildcats
Sprouse
now
beat on
in
that
scoring
play.
position.
Chicago already in scoring range. Would be a long field goal, but they could still try to kick a field goal from this range if they can't get anything else going. Willis trying to make sure that they do as he gains 5 on first down, averaging only 3.5 per carry, but he is still getting it done. 2nd and 5, 6 minutes to go.
How much time is left in the Baltimore game? There's
Yeah, when you start
3:12 to
hustling
go
now.
in the fourth quarter. Queen City still has the ball, up
You got the
19.
3
If
timeouts,
Baltimore
so
gets
it's
it
not-
back,
You're not in dire straits. You just
and
don't
this
wanna
is
make
still a
mistake.
2-score game, we'll jump
That's
over
in
there.
field goal range.
And it looks like, oh man, what a sack
King
for
back to
Baltimore.
pass, pressure coming, gets the pass away, and that one is hauled in, and he's down at the 1-yard line. Torres with another reception.
The baseball slide. He's safe, but he's not in. I'm surprised.
I didn't see
Must have
anybody
got-
touch him.
Must have got hit in the leg. Let's see.
Yeah, King
The
almost
wobble by
leveled.
King. I think that's a touchdown, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to review it.
Well, why? Just hand it off to Willis and up the middle in, right? See if it can be done. Willis with no
In
touchdowns
theory.
yet tonight.
But look at this goal line defense by Tallahassee. This is what Chicago needed on the last series.
King under center. It's a long 1-2. Willis taking it up the middle. Hit at the line. Still fighting. Gains about half of what he needed. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Little by little, he gets there.
All right, so Baltimore got a
Handoff by
stop.
handoff. He's going to get slower and slower.
There's 2 minutes
This
left. They're
Tallahassee
down by
defense is
19.
unrelenting, so
That's a pretty
they gotta
long
get in.
shot.
They can't let this
Vultures
go the 3rd down.
Trying their hardest, but a stunning result in
under center.
Buffalo right now.
Sends the ball off to Willis running up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown.
Chicago's not done yet.
Closes the gap.
Great job by Willis. He had pride draped all over him. Look at that. just everywhere, and he just falls forward.
Some might wonder
gets
how
that
Denver
touchdown,
falls to
didn't do
3.
much, and
If
now
it's a 3-way tie, there are no common games or
Chicago's
head-to-head.
looking
It would
pretty.
go
They
to
can
strength of victory. Now, the
ready
good
to
news for
panic,
Denver
play
is they're
normal
winning that
defense,
right
and
now,
now Tallahassee-
413 to
they're going
398
for 2.
over Dallas. If
guess
strength
they're
of
making a
victory
3-point game,
held,
so it's
Dallas would be the
A bold
3,
strategy, Matt.
Denver would be the 2, and Alaska would be the 1.
Willis taking the handoff up the middle. He is into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is successful. The lead closes. Tallahassee still with the lead, 21-18 over Chicago.
Your head-to-head victory over Dallas only applies if you also beat the other team involved in the tiebreaker, which would be Alaska. You didn't play Alaska, so head-to-head cannot
I've seen that out
apply.
of formation before, but it's just trusted the running back and got it done.
Garcia kicks it back off to Swain, takes it back at his own 9-yard line. Swain returning it straight into the arms of one of the backup linebackers, Robert Boucher Jr.
All right, Tallahassee has the ball up 3, so we're going to go to the team that is
Pleats.
trailing
That's
with
enough
the
for a
ball.
first
That's
down.
Baltimore right
Bailey
now,
Holder
running no
on the
huddle,
catch.
trying their hardest to make something happen late.
Dazzo goes over the middle again, completes. That one to Lloyd Graham Jr. 2nd down and 2. On 2nd down, going to Gaines out of the backfield, enough for a first down. Could not get out of bounds, though. Ball
A.J.
up
Francis
for
just picked up a
48,
first down
and
for
10.
Tallahassee. That's
1
going to run
minute
some more
left.
clock.
3 wide for Dazzo. Throws over the middle, completes. It's enough for a first down. Daly Holder.
That is correct, Bridge City.
47
Dallas
seconds
at
left.
this
Ball
moment,
at the
the
39-yard
best they
line.
can do is the number 2
Trying to get
seed
back on the
because
board.
Baltimore
Gonna go to Gaines
is
out of the
about to
backfield,
lose.
and
If
he
Baltimore
steps
would
out
have
of bounds
won,
and
Dallas
stops
could
the
have still
clock.
had a shot at the number 1 seed,
Stops the clock at 39
but it's looking
seconds.
faint at the moment.
Yeah, Baltimore doing a good job in a no huddle. Showing some life in the passing game that hasn't really been there all night. But if they can punch us in, that's a good way to end their regular season.
So trips to the right, one to the left, steps up in the pocket, throws left, it's complete. Still moving. Gets the ball out to the 18-yard line. Reception made by Edward Morgan. And Baltimore will take their first time out.
Yeah,
3 minutes left in Tallahassee.
Kind of on an out route out in the open.
I'm not even touching that one.
It's 2nd and 8.
Or would I, for sure.
So take a look
Rip
at Ken
Andy
Gossett's Ken Gossett's stats. Oof. Christensen under center, hands the ball off to Francis, hitting the backfield, and down he goes. Dylan Rowland with another tackle for a loss. It's got to be about his 180th on the season. That's all
3rd
that
down
man
in
does.
Tallahassee.
Into the end zone, touchdown, Baltimore.
Baltimore
Bishop
just scored.
Warfield
It's
on
a
the catch.
13-point game.
Yeah, good send-off of the regular season and definitely this game on a good little
Back to
post
Tallahassee
route
for
by
3rd down.
Anybody.
No doubt about that.
3rd down and 9. Huge stop coming up here for the defense if they can do it, and they do. They stop Willis. Excuse me, Francis.
Chicago gets the
One of them
stop.
running
They
backs.
have all
4th
3
down and 6 coming
timeouts.
up
They'll
from
hit the
the
2-minute
Tallahassee
warning.
46, and the
Back to
Pride will have to
Buffalo
send
for
the
the
quarterback out
onside
on the
kick
field.
attempt.
In for the extra point is Tarkington. And the kick is up and good. So 45-33 is where we stand right now with 30 seconds left.
Rolliman asks, how does Baltimore losing affect New Orleans seeding? It actually allows common games to be thrown out. It goes back to strength of victory, which would actually move New Orleans up the standings
Trying to convert
because
an onside
Mexico
kick.
City's is the worst of the 3. Here's the onside.
There it is, bounces it around, and it is picked up and recovered.
Queen City going to control it. That was the
By
last
Queen City.
gasp from Baltimore, and it looks like
And
Queen
that's
City's going to
good.
come away with that
And that was
victory.
Chicago going for the block, and they can't get it.
Back to Tallahassee, where
Carter takes the
Chicago
ball back at his own 15,
will have a
immediately
shot
met
to
and
tie
brought
or win
down.
the
They'll mark it
game.
at the 17.
A win
Chicago
gets them in the
looking to
playoffs.
Take the
A
lead
loss
and secure
makes
a
things
playoff berth.
incredibly
They need
crazy.
to get it on this drive as we are running out of time.
Yep, but plenty of time for Chicago to. I mean, they can't run their normal offense for sure, but for the love of God, do not run the 5 wide receivers.
There it is. There
Well,
it
no,
is, Matt.
There's a tight end.
Oh, there's a tight end. Okay.
Watch out for the linebacker blitz. King has to get this off in a hurry.
Only 3 coming. King sends the ball to Varner, who brings it back the wrong way a little bit. Gain of only 3. 2nd down and 7. Onside kick coming in Queen City. High snap for King. Pressure coming down. He goes. E.J. DeQ. That's got to be his 5th sack on the night. Just been in the backfield, just absolutely tearing it up.
All hands abandon ship on that formation. Get a running back there for safety.
That's true. DeQ
Protect this man.
now with at least 5 sacks on the night.
Thank you.
Victory formation in Queen City. That'll be the final score there, 45-33. E.T. King on 3rd down and 12, firing down the right sideline. Has it, man, and it's complete for a 1st down, and Chicago burns their 2nd timeout. Hauled in by Carter at the 35.
We will have all the playoff breakdowns and live call-ins
More time for ET
coming up at the conclusion of this game. Queen City has knocked off Baltimore 45-33.
Yeah.
Yowzas. Is that a word?
Yes.
It is tonight,
For us,
Matt.
at least.
It is tonight. Minute 31 to go. 1st down and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Matt's favorite formation back out onto the
Fasten your
field.
seatbelts. It's been little feast and a lot of family for Chicago.
With that,
King 20 of 30 on the night, 283 yards. Steps up and he goes down. E.J. DeQ again, 6 sacks. What a performance for
DeQ. Timeout to get out of this formation because I see nothing but sorrow.
3 men coming again. King firing down the sideline. That one is incomplete. Intended for J.C. Torres. Well covered by Michael Sprouse. 3rd down and 16.
Chicago and Tallahassee now the last game going of the night.
Just try to go for about half of it here and just accept the 4th down, or should they try to get the 1st?
No. Because you want you have to go for it. I don't want 4th and 16. I want 4th and 8, 4th and 9, 4th and 10.
Right.
Oh,
well, they flipped it. They flipped it, man. It's like a whole new formation.
Get a slant right across the middle. That one of those linebackers is coming.
Tallahassee sends for King up the middle. Hit as he throws, and that one is incomplete. Intended for
Max
Shane
Jackson
Varner,
says, I don't know who I want to
but
win.
Way overthrown as the pressure was right in his face.
You definitely don't
4th
want
and
Tallahassee
16.
to win.
Exactly
since
what the
Las
Matt did not
Vegas
want.
does not hold
If I could tell
head-to-head
Coach
over
Van Varner one
Tallahassee
thing, get rid of
or
that
London.
Play.
The whole
At least
formation.
Against Tallahassee.
Yeah, the whole formation.
Against Tallahassee, you can't run it. You just can't. You've had one big play out of it, but and now
So-
this is for the game.
This is it. It all comes down to this for Chicago's season. King back to throw. Pressure coming, and down he goes. E.J. DeQ, 7 sacks. If he's not the player of the game, I need to protest that decision.
That 7 sacks for DeQ is 1 shy of the record held
Again,
by Easy
formation
Temple.
does not work. They sent the house. You're letting those boys feast for fresh as a daisy, and there's no middle route. There's no middle
No,
route
Tom,
in
you
that-
want Tallahassee to win.
In that call, you need someone running some kind of out route, in route, something quick.
So victory formation in this one. That will be your final score. Tallahassee 21, Chicago 18. Chicago will likely burn their final timeout here, and they do. And that'll wrap up every game here for the SFL Blitz Live. Let's run
Chicago's
through
out of
those final
timeouts.
scores again. Indianapolis Spitfire take the win over Sioux Falls Sparrows 24-21. Las Vegas Fury 52-13 over the Desperados. New Orleans Sparrows narrowly eke out a win due to a missed field goal by the London Knights 33-31. Vancouver takes the win over the 9-2 Denver Knights.
Your updated standings
31-27.
are
Queen City
at the bottom of
wrapping
your
up their
screen.
game 45-33, and now
But
this
I'm here
one,
to tell
Tallahassee,
you
21-18 over
that no one
the
has been
Wildcats.
eliminated.
We'll see one
Stay
final
tuned.
snap to end this ball game.
And to end the regular season.
That's it. Well, no, there's still 3 games tomorrow, Matt.
Oh. Okay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wow. Well, to end the SFL Blitz.
That's right. That'll be the final game of the SFL Blitz as we see the victory formation one final time. So the Pride will advance to 7-5. Chicago's going to fall to 6-6, and that will be their final game of the season as they will not advance to the playoffs, unfortunately for them. So we do have some games tomorrow night. Coming up tomorrow night, the final 3 games of the Season 12 regular season action. Dallas will head to Oklahoma City. St. Louis will head to Atlanta, and Houston will head to Alaska. All 3 of those games will kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Wildcard action will start this week as well. Those matchups are yet to be determined, but we can tell you that they will kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Those games, along with all the rest of the playoff games and championship game, will be on Twitch. Matt, what are your final thoughts for this one?
Oh, it was a close one. Dallas did a good job improving their playoff position.
All right, folks. Welcome back into SFL Studios. It is pandemonium as, based on tiebreakers, we cannot determine who gets the last 2 spots of the playoffs. I don't have this on a graphic. If you're just joining us from the Chicago-Tallahassee game, buckle up. Because things are about to get interesting. You see the strength of victory down there on the screen. With Queen City's win, they jump up to 479. But here's the problem. 3 of the 4 teams in the last 4 in still can have strength of victory affected to the point where they are eliminated or clinch a playoff spot. Let's run this down as best I can. We're going to start. I want to get it in front of me here. We're all very alarmed with what transpired tonight between Queen City pulling a huge upset to London missing a last-second field goal to Chicago having a chance in the final minute to win and could not do it. And Vegas romping Tulsa. All right, folks, here's the deal. Chicago's current strength of victory is 464, but Chicago beat Houston and Oklahoma City this year. If Chicago gets wins from both Houston and Oklahoma City tomorrow, especially because they beat Houston twice, Chicago's strength of victory will skyrocket up to 486. That is the best of the 4 teams. If Houston and Oklahoma City lose, Chicago's strength of victory will be 444. That is the worst of these 4 teams. That means that if Houston and Oklahoma City lose tomorrow, Chicago is eliminated. And if Houston and Oklahoma City win tomorrow, then Chicago has clinched a playoff spot. There's more. London has a strength of victory of 457. London beat St. Louis and Oklahoma City this year. If St. Louis and Oklahoma City win, London will have a strength of victory of 472. That's much better than their 457 right now. If St. Louis and Oklahoma City lose tomorrow, London's strength of victory will fall to 444. That's the same as Chicago's would be if Chicago also suffered the minimum by Houston and OKC losing. Queen City, they're in the best position right now. Their strength of victory is 479. The minimum it can go is 472. That's if Atlanta loses to St. Louis tomorrow. So even the Atlanta-St. Louis game matters. If Atlanta beats St. Louis, Queen City goes to 486, and they will have the best strength of victory. Now, other tiebreakers that could come into play. London beat Las Vegas. London beats Chicago. Queen City beats Chicago. What does that mean? That means that Chicago is in real trouble. That means that Chicago needs to win strength of victory and needs to hope that Queen City and London end up falling out of strength of victory before Las Vegas does, so Chicago does not get eliminated on a head-to-head tiebreaker. We're focusing right now on just the 8th through the 12th seeds. So you might be wondering, well, what does that mean for Wild Card Wednesday? Well, it means we have to change the name to Wild Card Thursday, because we can't have a Wild Card Wednesday when we don't know who's playing. If you didn't think every game mattered in the SFL, well, it does. So we'll see you Thursday night for Wild Card Thursday. All right, let's get off of that for a moment. And let's go back to the top 6 and what transpired earlier tonight. Denver is the current number 1 seed at the moment, but they would need Alaska and Dallas to lose in order to maintain the number 1 seed. If that happens, it's a 5-way tie for second, and don't even get me started. Now, if Denver loses, we were talking about it briefly in the chat. If Denver loses and Alaska wins, Alaska is going to claim that number 1 seed. So at this moment, Alaska is in the driver's seat. If they win tomorrow against Houston, they are going to be your number 1 seed heading into the playoffs. Excuse me, the 2-time champions. How in the world did they come all the way back to have an opportunity to get the number 1 seed? Denver could not close the door tonight. Dallas plays Oklahoma City. Their strength of schedule is the weakest, and Dallas cannot catch Denver's strength of victory after the results from last night. It's 410 to 398. There's too much of a difference, so Dallas doesn't own that tiebreaker. The only way Dallas, check that. Dallas cannot get the number 1 seed. The highest they can go is 2, and that's with a win and an Alaska loss. Now, Baltimore losing helped New Orleans out a ton. New Orleans goes from 6 to 5, drops Mexico City down to 6, because the common games win for Mexico City over New Orleans doesn't matter anymore because there's a 3-way tie. So Mexico City right now in the 6th seed. If the playoffs were to start today, they would play Dallas in Dallas. Aztecs don't want any part of that. New Orleans would play Baltimore in the 5-4 matchup of the playoffs, but we still have lots to determine, especially if Dallas and Alaska, one or both of them, lose on Monday. I haven't been reading the chat because I had to get it all out and I knew I would get distracted. If somebody has a question or they would like to call in and just chat about the SFL just in general, you can give me you can attempt to give me a call on Discord. I was going to use Google Hangouts like I used to in the old days, but Google Hangouts I think has been completely or mostly decommissioned. At least you can't access it from the regular Google anymore, so that's a bummer. I have 133 notifications in Discord, so that's going to be really exciting later. Hi, C. Pundy. All right. Let's get to the questions. If Alaska and Dallas lose, do we move up to 2? Okay, so if Alaska and Dallas lose, it would be a 5-way tie for second. And what you're asking me is very complicated. What's likely is that strength of victory would play a lot into this. That would mean that Mexico City would be the 6th spot. Dallas would be the 5 spot. New Orleans would likely be the 4 spot. And then Baltimore owns the head-to-head over Alaska, so Baltimore would move into the 2 spot. I believe that's how that would work, T-Pat, so I believe you are correct. Yeah, Chris Curtis, come on in. I think actually, let's see. Andy Hamilton. We're going to try to get Andy on first. He called the Denver-London game. And let's see, Andy Hamilton, do we have you?
Hey, I'm here.
My dog just crashed into my desk. So that,
well, tell that dog that it's not crashing time; it's playoff time.
left me shaken.
Well,
all right,
a couple teams were shaken after tonight's
gosh.
game.
You called the London-New Orleans game. I can't believe the New Orleans kicker makes a 51-yarder and the London kicker misses a 40-yarder. I mean, crushing.
Yeah, it's devastating. And, you feel for London, all the hard work they put in, gets them so close. And I was telling Gus immediately after the broadcast, we've been in that situation when we played Alaska and drove down and were one generic play away from winning that game. So I definitely feel for London in their situation because, Cam, they did everything right. They worked their way down the field and they had the opportunity and they just, fate didn't fall their way tonight, whether it was the wind, whether it was, a sweat or the pressure, whatever it was, it's a tough break for London, and I feel for that locker room.
So Boosted Lefion asks in the chat, who is currently the most in trouble of a big shift of movement? That's an interesting question. One team we didn't cover is Las Vegas. Their strength of victory is locked. There's nothing they can do. All the teams that they beat this season have already played. So their strength of victory is stuck at 458. Again, all three teams, Chicago, London, and Queen City, have the potential to have a better strength of victory than Las Vegas at the end of the day. And two of the three have the potential to have a worse strength of victory than Las Vegas at the end of the day. At this point, Andy, you didn't get to see much of the Las Vegas game. They obliterated Tulsa. They came out to make a statement tonight. And at this point, they've done all they can.
Yeah, I see everything, Cam, and Redford had a great night tonight from what I did see, and it seems like, they came out and they did their job. They got their hands dirty. They won the game that they needed to win, and at this point in the season, that's all you can really do, is win the game in front of you and then let the chips fall where they may, and, sometimes it doesn't fall your way, sometimes it does, and you just have to be prepared to take whatever happens, and for Vegas, I don't think they're out of it, is what you were saying. So, you just got to see what happens.
A couple of questions for you, Andy, before I get to some other people that'd like to chime in on some of the games they had around the league today. Vancouver gets a stop at the 1-yard line to send Denver or to put Denver in a position where they no longer control their own destiny. Give me your thoughts on that crazy game.
Yeah, it's another tough break, for Denver. Obviously, you feel for them for doing all the right stuff, getting to the point where they were, and not coming up with the win. But at the same time, you can't discredit the hard work that the guys in Vancouver did in scouting this week to make sure that, because last time we played, we let up 60 for them on their offensive side of the ball. So, you have to look at that as, we did a lot of homework to try and make sure that we can minimize their offensive output. And while it was a lot closer than we hoped it would be, we did end up getting the win and we worked hard for that. So, tough for Denver, but the same way that you wouldn't discredit New Orleans' victory, you can't discredit the hard work that Vancouver put in this off.
My last question for you, Andy. At this point, Chicago their backs are against the wall. And to answer your question, Lefion, Chicago is at the biggest risk right now. Because they beat Houston twice, if Houston loses, that loss counts double against the Wildcats, and they would fall somewhere between 444 and 464, but closer to 444. They need Houston at this point to pull a shocker. Do you see that happening, Andy? And ultimately, with all that's been said tonight, which two of these four teams do you think gets in at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's very tricky. There's a lot of scenarios that could play out that make this thing a very, interesting matchup. And I'm going to twist your question a little bit to answer who would I like to see to get in? Who do I think would be the biggest threats in terms of, knocking off some of these top teams who have their spots locked? I want to see London get in. I think they, played New Orleans, who is a very good team. One. And, off of the way that Queen City played tonight, I'd like to see them get in, and I'd like to see them battle some of these other top teams, because Baltimore, to me, is one of the strongest teams in this playoffs, and for them to go down the way they did tonight in Buffalo, I think those two teams are the most dangerous heading into the playoffs. Now, can they both get in? I don't know if that's plausible, but those are the two that I think would be most dangerous heading forward.
All right, Hacker, 17 yards from that record. Andy, thanks for being on. Liam has some words to say before
no problem.
bed. It's unbelievable that he's still up. Feel for him. All right, Andy, take care. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to try to get Liam Crowder in, get his thoughts on the current picture for London. He's got 3 hours before work. Liam, how you holding up, man?
Oh no, it's I don't know what to say. Like, it's literally a case of inches between winning and getting through and not. So, I mean, yeah.
What's crazy though, Liam, is if you would have gone to bed thinking you were eliminated, you would have been wrong.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we're still trying to figure this out.
I suppose the way one of the worst case scenarios was Chicago and Queen City winning, because that would basically have killed us off dead. Because we need Chicago to be in play really for the head-to-head. So now really, like with tomorrow night, I mean the Houston Alaska game. I mean I'm praying for Max Paul right now to give me a miracle, because Houston we had like barely missed beating them as well. I mean, it's like all these games that we play, it's like 3 points in it, or like literally single score games, and I mean we could be like 9-3 right now or whatever. Like, it's just crazy. So I mean, yeah, we got to get something here. Like, our luck's been so torrid. Like, we didn't even have like a kickoff return today because somehow Jeff managed to fumble it and keep it in bounds so that it could be recovered. So yeah, it's just we've had a good season in any case. I think going from 3-9 to 6-6, and we wanted to get a winning season, but if it doesn't pan out, we won't be too upset. I think the one thing which has given us a real chance is to have the tiebreaker over. How does it work out in terms of, is it the lowest strength of victory is eliminated? Or?
Correct. The tiebreakers are designed to eliminate the weakest team in order to start up again at the top, so that head-to-head can always matter as much as possible, right?
Okay. So I think that's going to be a real challenge in that case.
You can chew TJ and T-Pat out, because they're the reason why you didn't clinch a playoff spot tonight. If Queen City would have lost, you would have clinched a playoff spot on the head-to-head sweep of Chicago and Vegas, and Queen City has totally destroyed that.
I was, I couldn't believe that, because it's like we're in the coaches channel in our locker room coaches channel, and it's like we need 5 things to go wrong for us to not be in play, and they're all going wrong. And I think Tallahassee pulling back and beating Chicago was
it was a saving grace.
That was huge. Yeah. So I mean it's totally on a knife edge now. I mean, my hope is, I mean, we got to get OKC or St. Louis winning. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, both preferably, but I mean, the ideal scenario would be, like I think as long as Chicago, if Chicago like basically finish bottom of the strength of victory, and then you basically have a kind of flip with the way that the situation is now, where Queen City will end up finishing, or Las Vegas, because they're locked in, will finish below us on strength of victory, and then it will be. It's really weird. The kind of head-to-head stuff doesn't play in necessarily as much as you might think because of the way that the multiple team tiebreakers turn out instead of the head-to-head ones.
Well,
So,
and Sioux Falls is sitting
yeah.
here going, "Hey, ours mattered. They beat Tallahassee all the way in week 1, and that's why Sioux Falls is 7 and Tallahassee's 8. It's pretty wild how it all shakes out. Well, Liam, I'm going to let you go to sleep. Kudos to you for being up this late and
it's nearly. I don't think it was as long as the draft, but nearly there.
Right.
All right.
We're gonna split that into 2 days. All right, bud.
Yeah, see you, man.
Let's get Michael Torillo on. Michael Torillo called the Las Vegas game. Really gave the Fury a chance. What's bizarre about the Las Vegas win is that despite Las Vegas winning as much as they did, and despite their strength of victory going up from 464, what actually finished at 458, but Las Vegas ends up in the exact same spot where they started tonight, 11th. Michael, you here?
Yeah, I got you, Cam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, what a performance. You called the Robert Redford showcase. He doesn't break a record necessarily tonight, but he was unbelievable. For those that didn't catch the really one blowout of the night, what did you see in Las Vegas?
Well, I saw a Las Vegas team that had a game plan and came out and executed that game plan, and they got lucky early on. They got a blocked punt inside the 5 on Tulsa's first drive, then a quick interception inside Tulsa territory. They were up 14-0 in the blink of an eye and never really looked back. And gotta say, you can't say enough about Robert Redford and his performance tonight. 376 yards and 6 touchdowns. And the most impressive moment for me tonight was they were backed up on their own 3 after a coffin corner punt. First play of the drive, Redford takes the ball 5 yards deep in his own end zone and runs 109 yards for a touchdown down at the other end of the field. Just incredible.
Yeah, he definitely put the team on his back tonight. Now Vegas is kind of in a mess, but Vegas is the only team that really can't move up or down. They're going to have to rely on other teams moving up or down. Vegas has some advantage. Basically the advantage is their strength of victory. They don't want to see London anywhere near them. They lost that head-to-head, but they did not play Chicago or Queen City. And so common games and strength of victory and those type of things are gonna play in. After what you saw tonight, Mike, I'm sure you feel like Vegas is deserving of a spot.
That's the thing, Cam. Even though Vegas put 52 points and Redford had this amazing production on offense today, I don't know if I can see Vegas in the playoffs because they have played a lot of close games this year, but they've lost a lot of close games this year. And that's really what it comes down to. You said they can't move up or down. The best situation for them is for Queen City to move up and London and Chicago to go down so they take the last spot. And it's a very long shot, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, for Vegas, they can't catch Queen City. Their strength of victory is too good. So they're going to have to catch Chicago, which Chicago at 464 right now is 7 points above London. Even just one loss. First off, the Houston losing to affect Chicago twice would be a huge nail in the coffin of Chicago. But even if OKC were to just lose, well, obviously Vegas would need one or both to happen, because if Houston won, I think that would be enough for Chicago since it counts twice. But just, crazy. You called games all season long, Mike. You're one of our better commentators. You've seen a ton of games and a ton of teams. Who would have thought that at the end of the season, for the first time in league history, we end up on a Sunday night not being able to play Wild Card Wednesday on a Wednesday?
Yeah, I saw a couple of times in the Blitz chat, because I moved over after my game ended, that this is probably the closest playoff race in SFL history, and I don't know if you can speak to that or not. And I've only been here about 4 seasons, but it's insane. From Denver up all the way up top to London currently all the way at the bottom. Almost nothing is decided until after tomorrow night. And, I leave right now and I'm going up to Alaska to call the Alaska-Houston game, which now has a bunch riding on it that didn't coming into today.
Yeah, we thought Monday would mean nothing, and it turns out it means everything. In fact, we might have to have another Blitz tomorrow or something. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do. There's gonna be a whole lot of scenarios that we're gonna have to get a hold of. Any final thoughts, Torillo? And I know you're getting ready for the playoffs too. You're gonna have some playoff game or two under your belt, and it's always the most exciting time of the year.
Oh yeah, and I love the SFL because we get to do this twice a year. You get to do it once in the spring and once in the fall, and I don't envy your job down at SFL headquarters tonight trying to sort all this out. But thanks for letting me get behind the mic and call games this season, and it's going to be a great ride for the playoffs.
Yeah,
so.
if anybody can see this on the screen, this was the sheet of Strength of Victory tracking it throughout the night. It is, and there's tons of other papers here with tiebreakers and all sorts of craziness on it. Well, thanks, Mike, for being here, and yeah, great call of the Vegas game, and we'll see you in Alaska tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, SFL Nation. Good night.
All right, who's next? I believe Mike Daggs, and then we've also got Zach Sandlin that wants to call in to talk about the Dallas situation. So we'll get to Zach in a moment. Mike, you with us?
I am. How's it going, Cam?
It's a headache. It's a headache. I wrote the 2,500 word playoff scenarios story earlier this week, and I wrote about 400 words on the number, the chase for sixth, and I talked about so who gets the sixth spot if Sioux Falls, New Orleans, and London and Chicago, Tallahassee are all 7-5? That's the major question. Well, I screwed that up. The major question was, what happens if all the teams end up 6-6, which is exactly what happened tonight. You called the Chicago-Tallahassee game. That, I'm telling you, it's not a lot of games that you see 7-0 right before the half. It was a real slugfest there.
It was really a defensive battle. I mean, the first quarter ended and there was no points on the board. And when you have a team like Tallahassee that, you're used to seeing them put up some points in every game they play, and to have none until late in the second, it was very surprising. So, Chicago, they are last in the league in points scored per game. So, I was expecting a low scoring game. It's good defense on both sides of the ball, but, yeah, it was a slugfest for sure, and we started to go back and forth there at the end, and Tallahassee, able to come away with the win, but hard-fought game by both.
Last two games for Chicago. By the way, the picture you're seeing on the screen, guys, was the 51-yard field goal made by New Orleans that won them the game. That's how close it was. Chicago in the last 2 weeks has lost to Mexico City by 1 on a blocked extra point, and lost to Tallahassee by 3 because they couldn't block E.J. DeQ. And that's I mean, they could easily be 8-4 and have a ton of tiebreakers and be somewhere in the 3, 4, 5 range. And they're fighting for their lives, needing Houston to beat a team that Houston has never beaten before. It's unreal.
Yeah. E.J. DeQ, you mentioned him. I mean, I gotta give him props. In the backfield 7 times for sacks tonight, just making life absolute just miserable for E.T. King. Couldn't get anything going.
How surprised were you after watching Queen City get obliterated by Alaska a couple of, a week or two ago? And Stephen Hacker has 360 receiving yards and is 17 yards away from breaking the all-time record that's been held for 3 years. I mean, please, you've seen Queen City and Baltimore plenty of times. How did that happen?
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, I was keeping an eye on the score tracker, on the side of one of my screens as I was trying to call my game, and I kept looking at that. I'm like, am I looking at this backwards? I thought for sure that Baltimore was going to be the one that was going to be blowing away Queen City. I mean, nothing against the Corsairs, but they've just had a rough go of it the second half of the season. I think they dropped 5 or 6 in a row, and Hacker had a good game last week or the week before. I think it was actually it was last week when they played Alaska. Even though they lost, Hacker still had a whole bunch of yards. If I remember right, I think it was over 200. He had a great game. So for him to come out and do it again tonight and help get his team the win, I thought for sure Queen City was dead, but they're still on the list.
Well, so just so people know, Queen City is in the driver's seat right now, even though they're in the 10 spot. Let me explain. Queen City cannot be caught by Las Vegas, so they don't have to worry about them. And the only way for Queen City not to make the playoffs is if Chicago and London end up with better strength of victories than Queen City. Or if Queen City doesn't end up with the best strength of victory and then they end up losing out to Chicago. But for that to happen, Chicago, all the upsets would need to occur. Houston would need to beat Alaska. Oklahoma City would need to beat Dallas. And St. Louis would need to beat Atlanta. That's a lot to ask, and it looks like the 4-time champs have done just enough. And who knows? They may end up playing Sioux Falls again in the playoffs. That's got to be like the 4th meeting between those two in the playoffs. It's crazy how they always seem to find each other.
Yeah. It's destiny, Cam.
Well, speaking of destiny, you've seen all these teams all year long. Out of the group of 4, who are the best 2? Who deserves to go in?
Out of the group of the wild card teams?
Yeah.
Well,
out of the group that are trying to get in right now.
Well, the defensive line for Tallahassee really showed what they're worth tonight. And for EJ DeQ, if he's not leading the SFL in sacks after this performance, a 7-sack performance tonight, he certainly is going to be close. Came into the night with 16 and then added 7 more onto it. So, just huge numbers from him. So I think that defensive line just by themselves gives Tallahassee the edge over some of the other teams. And, look at that, the strength of victory number there too, the highest in the league. Tallahassee definitely deserves to be in it. Chicago seemingly the team that just, they can't die. Sometimes they start losing some of these games close, like you mentioned, and, somehow they keep on hanging around. Queen City looked like they were down and out, but they're still in it. So, Tallahassee for sure. The other ones, any of them they're all right about at the same level. Any of them could make it in.
Tallahassee's strength of victory did drop tonight from 636 to 610, but as you mentioned, still best in the league. And with Denver and Baltimore losses, the possibility of Tallahassee and Alaska playing in the quarterfinals has become a reality. If Tallahassee ends up being the lowest seed to get out of the wild card, and Alaska's number 1, there's your 1-8 right there.
Yep.
And that would be something else. But still plenty more to be determined. Here's what we do know tonight: Sioux Falls is number 7. We know that. Tallahassee is number 8. We know that. Mexico City is number 6. We know that. So that's it. That's it. We still everything else is still on the table. New Orleans is probably 5th. It would take a bizarre circumstance for them not to be, but I think New Orleans can feel safely locked in at 5. They won't know their opponent. It could be Baltimore, Dallas, or Alaska at this point in the first round. So that'll be interesting. Any final thoughts, Mike?
Well, it's been a great season, and like Michael Trullo said earlier, I don't envy your position of trying to sort this all out. But hey, as soon as you can let me know, that'd be great, so we can actually get some broadcasters scheduled for these games.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get it all straightened down. Thanks so much, Mike. And
sounds good, Cam. Have a great night.
You later. All right, bye. I was trying to get Zach Sandlin in here. Would love to get a Dallas impression on what we have seen tonight. And then might get Chris Curtis in, and then we'll wrap the show up. Zach, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So, I mean, as a Dallas Lobo, how do you feel about the way this night has shaken out?
Well, I know we were all kind of hoping we could get that number 1 spot. Seeing Denver lose, we were kind of hoping we'd be able to slip up. But, I mean, we'll be happy getting that number 2 spot if we can manage to slip up there. Hopefully Houston, as much as I kind of pains me to say to cheer for the cross-state rival, let's hope Houston can pull off that upset of Alaska.
Yeah, I don't think there's been, a lot of people cheer against the 2-time defending champions, and it's just gotten revved up even that much more. Everybody wants to see Alaska lose. Does it make you sick to your stomach that they could end up being number 1 again?
Maybe a little bit, but I see it as just a challenge of, let's go and take it to them and just prove that much more that Dallas actually deserves to be in the spot that we're at. I know a lot of people still kind of see us as kind of lucking our way in there, but I think we've played hard and put together a good team. That we've lost some close games to some really good teams, but I think we've done a lot to prove that we deserve to be where we're at.
Play Oklahoma City tomorrow. Of course, Oklahoma City would like to play spoiler like Vancouver did against Denver. Obviously, after tonight's bout of upsets, you can't sleep on anybody. What score was most shocking to you? Just as a casual fan watching things unfold tonight since Dallas was in the playoffs.
Honestly, probably seeing Baltimore get kind of taken to the barn, taken out of the woodshed. Just Baltimore's looked like such a good team this year, and they've been sitting atop that kind of, top those power rankings for a little bit right now with the strength of their defense and that crafty veteran quarterback they got. But seeing them, QCC, just come out and Hacker have a ridiculous game against what was supposed to be one of the best defensive secondaries in the league right now is just mind-blowing.
Are you going to get the MVP this year? You're 119 yards away from a 2,000-yard season.
It would be cool, but I'm just here to help get my team, whatever I can do to help. If I get it, great. If not, it's no skin off my bones, really. I want to help Dallas get that championship that we've been chasing this year.
You've got Stephen Hacker's vote, and Hacker moved up all the way to 3rd tonight after his ridiculous outing with 1,504 yards now in the season. So congrats, Stephen. The couple of rookies holding it down and cheering for each other. Any final thoughts, Zach?
I think you've heard it enough tonight. I don't envy your job of trying to figure all this out, because this is I was talking with Crash earlier, just trying to figure out where we would sit so we can kind of plan ahead for what we need to figure out. And I don't even have a clue now of what we need to try to figure out. So, best of luck to you. Get you some headache medicine or something so that you can.
Yeah, you could end up playing a team that plays on Thursday, or you could end up knowing your matchup. So we'll just have to see how it all falls. But good luck, Zach, and Godspeed trying to get to that 2,000-yard milestone, and we'll see you on the field tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, good old Chris Curtis gonna round out the show for us. Curtis actually filled in tonight for Eric Vincent, who fell sick, and we hope Eric Vincent's okay. But Chris, you benefited because you got one of the best games of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Denver and Vancouver, which when you look at it on paper, didn't look like it was going to be one of those games that was really close. But Vancouver absolutely came to play. Credit to Hamilton. and his staff to make it a much more entertaining game than some would say it had the right to be.
Well, and Vancouver, last time they played them, put up 60 on them. 60
Yeah.
plus, and it's like, oh, well, surely. But we said surely Baltimore would beat Queen City. Surely, Sioux Falls would take care of business in Indianapolis. None of those things happen.
Surely Tulsa would
Right.
not get routed by Las Vegas.
Right. Two teams with the same record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one, that I was watching the scores as I'm calling my game, and you heard me give updates throughout, and I'm just like, while I'm watching that score go up on the one side, it's like, what is happening to Tulsa? They're kind of imploding at the most important time.
Yeah. Well, we have, Chris, a back-to-back defending champion. Baltimore's coach has won 2. Max Paul's won 2. Mexico City's got 1 under their belt. That's 5, and then you got Queen City with 4. That's 9 of the 12, right? And they're all kind of in the mix. With all that said, this is the most wild, crazy playoff race I've ever seen. You call Rocket League games and other esports events. Where does this particular race fit in with some of the crazy, playoff stuff conversation, in other leagues and other esports?
Top 2, if not 1. That there's another organization that I cast for. It's MLE, which does Rocket League, leagues, as you mentioned, and they have the playoff races are very, very tight as well. But I would put this above that in the sense of closeness and in the sense of drama. Every single play matters, and you don't quite get that with any other esport because things are kind of at a slower pace. It's a little bit more deliberate, and things just change in a heartbeat in the SFL, and it's so fun to watch the dynamic unfold every single week.
And I'm watching the Vancouver game, and when that receiver dropped the first down pass.
Oh, I know.
I'm thinking, this is Cade Stevens all over again. They get all the way down here, and then not Chris Braun, by the way, that's got to be a career high 3 touchdowns for him. Talk about stepping up big in the third slot, and in this as a slot guy, as wide receiver. But then to make the play at the 1. To stun the number 1 team in the league. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, that was huge, and it wasn't just the 3 scores he had. He also came up with some big plays in between the end zones as well. Was able to get some long plays down the sideline. I can think of one for sure that was in the fourth quarter that really set them up on that game-winning drive. It was a lot of fun to watch that Vancouver team work, and Denver's got to do some soul searching here because there's a chance, and correct me if I'm wrong. Could they possibly fall to 3 depending on the results for tomorrow?
Yes, correct. And they aren't. It's a little unlikely. There you see the strength of victory back on your screen. Dallas is at 398. Denver's at 410. Sure. And in fact, I think I said it earlier, so I may have misspoke. I don't believe Denver can fall to 3.
Okay.
At this point, because they have the head-to-head on Dallas and they have strength of victory on Dallas. I think that Denver's either going to be in that 1 or 2 spot, depending upon if Alaska can take care of business, which we saw Baltimore and Sioux Falls not be able to take care of business tonight, so it is not a given.
No, not at all, and nothing's a given in this league. You know that as well as I do. The big thing is when you expect things to happen, that's when things get turned upside down. So definitely 3 great games to watch tomorrow. All 3 have playoff implications, even if not for some of the teams that are in those games. So there is a lot of football left. There's 12 total quarters of games that could absolutely determine the fate of every single team that's in these top 10 so far.
Some play-by-play and analysts getting the nod for the playoffs. Michael Torillo, Rich Pratchett, Eric Vinson, and your very own Chris Curtis. Analysts during the postseason, Levant Mercer, T. Roy Gaines, Jeremy Vega, Dan Mitchell, Gus Schultz, Andy Hamilton, Ramos Lynn, and Damon Simeon. So, Chris, we'll see you for some more playoffs. I think you called what was it? Was it the Indy Tallahassee block punt game?
Yes.
You've called that
absolutely
game?
I did.
Was that the highlight of playoff calls for you? So
I'd
far?
have to put that again, probably top 2 if not 1. I that was the most memorable one, and I am looking forward to the playoffs because there's always something that happens to make it memorable, and that block punt game was something special in front of a lot of people that don't necessarily get a huge taste of SFL action, and the ones that are in the community already, it was that much more special for them. So I'm very much looking forward to the playoffs this year as well, and whoever I happen to get to call it with, just better bring the earplugs because it's probably going to get loud.
All right, Chris. Well, we'll see you in the playoffs, and thanks for stepping up tonight, Big. That was huge. Yeah. And we'll see how it all shakes out. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. We're going to wrap things up. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. I'm Cameron Irvine from SFL Studios, and we still don't know. What a night. We hope you enjoyed the Blitz broadcast. Certainly enjoyed putting it on for you guys. We'll see how it all shakes out tomorrow. Wildcard Thursday. All quarterfinal games are still slated for Sunday. Just if you play on Thursday, your playbooks won't be due until Saturday night at 11:59 normal time, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill. All right, for everyone in the chat, Nacho, Crazy 8, Slick Alive, Jason, TMG, Ethan Kai, Shacker, Bridge City Bird, Dead Knight, Buddha 504. Congrats, Aaron, on the win tonight in New Orleans. And everyone else, C. Pundy, and the rest of SFL Nation. I'm SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, and what a wild night it was. Still more football tomorrow, and you won't want to miss it. All games matter. # make an impact. Good night, everybody.